Hey everybody, SonGoshuaku here, ready to review Dragon Ball DAIMA, episode 20, the final episode live, titled Zenkai, which is aka Maximum. But first, before we get started here, I want to pay tribute to the man that made all this possible, Akira Toriyama, who unfortunately passed away around this time 1 year ago. Listen, there's been ups and downs with Dragon Ball DAIMA, and honestly, whether you're for it or you're not liking the series, Dragon Ball's been filled with ups and downs, but there's no doubt that the man's creativity completely had a huge impact on all of us as Dragon Ball fans, and for that I want to say thank you, Akira Toriyama. And so, we kick off episode 20 with the main event of the series. The challenger, Super Saiyan 4, Son Goku, versus the Supreme Demon King with the power of the third eye, Gomah! And so, Son Goku, there you see, Super Saiyan 4 powering up everything that he can, using all that awesome power, and he is ready to go. And Gomah's got that wide eye. He is completely ready, and he's got that face. So you can see he's getting all pumped up for this fight. And then from there, you see Gomah. He basically takes a stance. I guess he thinks he knows some sort of martial arts or something, because let's face it, Gomah has been completely, like I said, a stupid villain through this entire series. He was designed that way, but clearly this is the power of the third eye. And then from here, we go ahead and you see that close-up of SS4 Goku, drawn by the legendary animator himself. Yes, that's right, for this, they had the legendary Notoshi, make sure I'm saying this right, Natoshi Shida. I don't know the animator's name as well, but I know he has done some of the best Dragon Ball fights ever, from Goku versus Vegeta, Jiren versus Goku, even going as far as, what was the, Bauer? Oh, good. My chat is working finally. All right, I'm glad that it works. That's why my stream was delayed here. So yeah, I can see the chat now. Thankfully. But yeah, Sheeta's done some of the most amazing fights, just like Gogeta versus Broly, and now here, Goku versus Gomah. Matthew, thank you for joining the chat. Says one of the greatest fights in Dragon Ball history, and one final gift from Toriyama. Yes, I absolutely agree. And then you see Goku, he's powering up. You know, Masako Nozawa was like, I can't do her voice, but you know, Sean Schimmel's gonna be like, yeah, so we get that awesome power up as Goku basically with the rocks in the background flying. Oh man, let me see, I went ahead to my other screen here, but yeah, we get the rocks flying all in the background and this really cool zoom out effect. So this is just looking really sick right here, setting the tone, and look at that beautiful aura. And then right there, as you see, the energy goes right towards the camera. All of Goku's family and friends are looking back, even Neva, everybody watching this fight. Piccolo keeping on guard, because remember, they're gonna try the old shtick they did with Raditz, basically. Goku's gonna go in for the attack, Piccolo goes in for the kill, but will it work? And then there you see, once again, on business, all point, SS4 Goku, ready. And I love how he goes ahead and he takes a moment to just calm down. He's getting ready, and then he's like, let's go! And then look at Gomah. Gomah's like, let's go. Like, no, bro, you have not done the martial arts training that Son Goku has done through this entire series, but he's gonna try. And there you see the blast going off, and Goku flies right towards Gomah, and look at the energy. You knew they were gonna go all out for this attack, for this animation, and look at how sick this is. Goku coming in right with the fist and got the blue energy, and Gomah's like, oh yeah, that's right. This is what happens when a true master of the martial arts takes on someone who does basically does the cheap way out. He puts his little eyeball and thinks he's gonna be some martial artist. Nah, no way. And then you see the impact frame right there. Boom! Goku right there with Gomah in the face. He's like, oh! Gomah's face just completely looks always hilarious. But Goku, he is done. After fighting so many jabroni after jabroni, Goku is ready to end this and going in to kill. This is what I have been waiting for, Dragon Ball DAIMA, where the states finally feel like, man, this is the challenge right here. Shout out to Matthew in the chat, says how Mazuko can still scream like that for that long in her 80s submits her legendary status. I absolutely agree. That is totally 100% true because, man, Mazuko Nozawa, what, 88 years old and still kicking butt? Like, woo, this is fantastic, man. This woman is legendary, absolutely. And Goku just right in there on point. Look at that. I just love it. He is on for the kill. That is Goku. No more petty cool, no more fighting with Jabroni. This is Goku, murderous. He's got murder in his eye, and I am all here for it. Yeah, at this point, you know, we're at the final episode. I'm like, kill him, give him hell, Goku. And you see Goma's like, oh, everything. His face is so ridiculous every single time he gets hit. And look at this, Goku keeps the pressure, puts him into the ground, like fear of the power, and the ground breaks, and the punch is so strong. Goku taking him through the ground. I love it. And look at that face going on. Make it stop. That's exactly what he looks like. But Goku ain't ready to let it stop. And they go through the ground. Boom! Right on the ground. Goku on point, making sure he feels all the pain and destruction. And we get this cool shot where it goes and zooms out of the ground and boom, creates a giant crater. I was like, let's go. And I was watching like, Goku, get him. Let's go. Get him. And you see the electricity. They start going all over the ground and it starts breaking the ground in half and everything. And then, man, look at the effects. The animation speaks for itself. This is the power of SS4 Goku with the lights going all out. Fantastic. The entire arena getting a huge light show effect. This is just from one single punch of Goku. And like I said, he is on business. Look at his face right there. He is not playing with Gomah. Goma's feeling all that power. And then Gomah, he gets angry. He's like, argh. And then he starts shooting his these laser eyes or something right at Goku. And I just love the effects, the greens, the purple, just really loving the complementary colors here. And right here, Goku just, I think, smacks this thing out of the way. And so Gomah right here, he goes ahead and does a kick up. For those of you who are longtime WWE fans, Shawn Michaels, I know Matthew in the chat is doing some little Shawn Michaels with the kick up and everything. So now Gomah's on guard thinking he's gonna do something right here. And they go ahead and collide their fists. And this was like a recurring theme that I noticed breaking down frame by frame with Vegeta versus Tamagami 2 it was, where they kept doing these zoom ins and out of the eyes. They keep going to their fists a lot here, constantly colliding fists and everything, but hey, it still looked really cool and sick. I mean, you see how big Son Goku's hand is in this version of Super Saiyan 4? Imagine how much even bigger Gomah's fist must be. And right there, you see Goku, he's like, it ain't gonna be this. He goes ahead, he bounces right off of that, and then Gomah's looking right at him, and SS4 Goku's looking right at Gomah, and I'm loving the camera panned around, and we're seeing the rocks coming out of the ground. Like, I love the setting. This is one of the best settings I've seen in Dragon Ball. That really feels like a final battle. As I've mentioned in previous episodes, this is how a final battle should indeed look. And so Goku goes right here, flying in, and he basically puts his hand out, and bam, collides with another fist once again. And right there, Goku felt a little bit of the power. He felt a little bit of the power when it came to Gomah, and boom, right in the face, Gomah nails SS4 Goku. But we know our boy Goku's gonna take more than that to go down, and he does as he gets up. And he is ready. He ate that shot from Gomah very well. And then Goku comes in and I'm like, yes, I want to see this version of Goku, adult Goku with these big old forearms that are made and designed to look more primal, as you would see with a big monkey or ape man or something like that. I want to see this Goku box, because I mean, you want to get hit by that? Yikes. And so Gomah's able to dodge it, or is able to block it with his forearm, and you see the power there. Boom! Goku ends up getting him with a left right in the face. He's like, you left yourself wide open. And then boom, kills ahead for another shot. And Gomah's, he's good. He was able to block that one. And there you go. Goku's got to figure out, okay, a little bit of what to do. And then he goes in for a kick. And boom, Gomah blocks that one again. And it sends Gomah flying into the back. And Gomah's able to catch its footing. Okay, RC. And Gomah basically slides back. And then he flies right back towards Goku. And they are colliding. Boom, Goku goes for the kick. Gomah's able to evade it. Then Gomah goes in for the punch. And Goku's able to get it out. And then Goku goes for another punch to the shoulder, and then from there, Gomah is able to get blocked. Looks like Goku blocks it with Gomah's fist, and then Goku comes in for another punch, and then they're just going at it, throwing bombs and blocking it. And I gotta give Gomah credit. He is dodging and everything. I'm not sure how much training Gomah's had, but man, he is hanging in there with SS4 Goku. And you see the sky right there as Gomah tries to create some distance. Goku flying right behind him, and then from there, Goku's right underneath him. And right when Gomah tries to catch him, Goku teleports. Oh, too soon, too slow. You gotta be quicker than that, is what Son Goku is saying. As Gomah's just trying to go, he think he Vegeta. Boy, think he Vegeta. Nah, Goku didn't fault Vegeta, and you ain't no Vegeta. And then from there, Goku's able to fly right up under his hand like that, and then he goes in for a kick, and bam! Got him in the side of the face, and then boom, I give Gomah credit. He ate that shot. Gomah ate that shot, but you know Goku's got more in store. Bam! With a left to the stomach. To a left, right to the jaw, and then Goku goes back. Boom! With another right. Boom! With another left, and then right there, he got boy spinning. He's doing the twirl. Goku on point, and you can see that face with Goku. He is not done yet. And so Gomah, he's getting angry, and he starts shooting ki blast spamming. And Goku basically is able to he gets hit. Goku, he nails a shot on Goku, but it's gonna take more than that. Goku powering right on up, and he's like, yeah! Oh my gosh, love it. Very sick looking animation right there. And Gomah's like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, yeah, it's gonna take a lot more than that, boy. A lot more. So Gomah goes ahead and he gets really fast. So at this point, he's wondering what can he do. He's got all these cool blasts and everything, and we just see them flying all over the battlefield. Boom, boom, boom. Just big light show effect. Like, man, like I said, really loving the complementary colors, the yellows, the greens, the purples, going all at it. And you see both of them with their ores all fine. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is ore right here, true ore. Man, boom, and they both slowly collide. And there you see, it is kind of like a stalemate from here. And right there, this does end up sending, I think, Goku back. Or Goku, yeah, he's trying to create the distance as Gomah's trying to fly right by him. And then from there, Gomah basically nearly hits Goku, but bam, to no avail. Goku right here, he starts spinning back, which was really sick. I love it. He's like, boom, doing like backflips in the air, and it is no avail. No, it is to no avail from Gomah as he's shooting blasts all over the place, and he's not hitting. He's blasting, but he ain't hitting. And then right there, you see Goku. He's very conscious. He goes right over to Gomah, and boom, goes for a punch. Gomah is able to block it, and then that's not enough though. Goku still sends the boy flying out of frame, and Gomah right there, he knows he is in trouble. Goku is fast on the hunt, like a predator in the wild trying to get his prey, you know. He's like, and then bam, goes for another big punch, and Gomah is able to block it and still get sent out of the frame. So he's blocking, you know, it's like when you're in a video game and you keep blocking, but it's still taking the health bar down. That's exactly what's going on from here. Man, look at Goku just being completely still. I love the rage in the eyes, the red eyes, just I love it. Absolutely. Gonna take a water break here because we got a lot more action to come. Alright, and then from there, as Goku continues to fly towards Gomah, Gomah thinks he's gonna do something, he goes for a big punch, but no! Goku's able to block it right then and there, so not enough. Goku is up, he does send Goku flying a little bit different, but then Goku gets up, gets his elbow ready, and he's like, here, boom! Right on the neck, bam, love it, the back fist to the neck, boom, and then Goku's like, you look at that man it looks like a monster possessed, I love it. And right here, he's about to go, oh, if you are a wrestling fan, you know this, it is the classic X-Hando, and Goku goes, bam, boom, sends Gomah right to the ground, and he's able to land on his feet, but Goku keeping the pressure on. And I really love this fight. There was no talking. They just got to throwing hands. They just get wind at it. Like, we are not gonna sit here and talking and everything. They are just going at it, and I really love that aspect of the fight. Is SS4 Goku looking awesome, flying right towards him. Look at the animation, man. Shout out. The animators did a phenomenal job on the fighting. Oh my gosh. And then you see Goku basically flying right there, and boom, big giant punch to Gomah, and then boom, another kick, keeping the pressure on, another punch, boom, and then he flies over to try and throw Gomah off, and then he goes ahead and spins around. Gomah not sure what Goku's doing. Goku keeping the flying on, passing, going right past the whole huge mountain right there, and then boom, there you see, he knows Gomah's coming right at him. Goku's like, yeah, come on, and then bam, Gomah goes in for a big punch, but no, Goku saw it coming. He swings that boy around, and boom, coming right even closer, and then I love this shot where he's flying around Gomah's fist, and then boom, look at that, he starts sliding. Goku is using Gomah's whole entire head as a skate going and sledding on it or something like that, and then from there, he goes ahead and he puts that foot back, and then bam, big giant kick. You see the red aura coming to Gomah, and Gomah's like, ah! This is completely gotta be a reference in the manga when Super Vegeta does the kick to semi-perfect cell. I know if you've seen Toriyama's work, you've seen that as one of the most iconic, cool shots he's ever done. Boom! I love it. That was so sick. I'm like, shout out the choreography. Just absolutely amazing. The way Goku put Gomah into a false sense of security there and got him right in the stomach, going right past his fist, and the way he slid over and then smoothly did that in, like, that was fantastic. And this right here shows you that once powers are equal, this is where you see the difference of Son Goku being someone who is a martial artist who has studied under many great masters and has trained and perfected multiple styles of martial arts versus Gomah, who's been stated, though he is powerful with his energy, Gomah, to what we've been told, we don't know him being that physically strong or if he has the martial arts knowledge that Son Goku, and clearly you can see Goku is the better fighter. I think you saw that in the Vegeta and Gomah fight. It's just obviously that third eye was a big hack. Matthew in the chat says, Macho Man would have approved of the elbow and double axe handle. Ooh, yeah, I dig it. And so the fight goes here, and boom, Goku puts some more pressure in on the gut to Gomah, and Gomah, like, his eyes sticking out of his head, like, and then boom, another punch. Goku with the pressure, keeping it on him, putting another pressure. Look at Goku, he's like, it hurts so bad. And like, Goku's like, nah. Look at Goku's like, it's about to hurt some more. And then look at that. Woo, love the animation. The artists, you knew all their heavy hitters were coming out for the animation. They were gonna make it look awesome. Look how sick that shot looks of Goku ready for the kill, and then he goes in with that big giant fist, and bam, another punch to the gut. Oh my gosh, look at Gomah. You're wondering, look at this, look at that. Goku put the punch so heavy into Gomah, like if Jim Ross was on the call, good God almighty, he's broken him in half. Literally, by God, broken him in half. Oh man, look at the blast energy. And Goku, he is not stopping. Goku is putting all the pressure into Gomah. Look at that face. I don't know if I'm just completely amazed of the pain of Gomah, or if it's just that Toriyama gave Gomah such a ridiculous facial design that every single thing that he draws him in pain with is just gonna look ridiculous. So it's like, man, oh my gosh, man. And then so right there, boom, Goku goes in with a big giant uppercut to Gomah, and Gomah looks like he's completely out of it. Oh, pretty much at this point, and bam, sends him flying out of the frame, and Gomah's going up into the sky, and you knew it was gonna happen sooner or later. The third eye comes to his defense, and this is pretty much what I was going on about. I remember stating this is that clearly adult SS3 Vegeta in episode 19 compared to Goku Mini SS4, he was far more stronger, because SS4 Goku, he got defeated by Gomah once he got that power boost, and Vegeta was able to beat up Gomah, an even stronger version of Gomah that beat SS4 Goku in his mini state. But that third eye kept making him stronger and stronger and stronger, and SS3 Vegeta kept getting more exhausted and exhausted and exhausted. And I'm like, okay, this is what's gonna happen here. So I'm like, can Goku finish the job before the blast hit, and you see Gomah looking all confident, like bro, you're just a walking cheat code. You're that guy who goes on a video game and uses the cheat code. And hey, I did it a lot when I was a kid too, back on the PS1 PS2 days, so I'm pretty sure a lot of us gamers are accused of that. Not that I game that much anymore anyways nowadays, but he's that guy, that gamer that goes ahead and gets a cheat code because he keeps getting his butt kicked by the final boss. And so he puts the cheat code in where he stays at 100% health. And it takes like 20-30 minutes of getting beaten around before he finally wins, because he's only able to get one shot off every 5 or 10 minutes, right? And it's like, man, with as much as you've gotten hit, you would have lost this game over and over multiple times. That's exactly what this is. He can't beat Goku, so the third eye has to keep making him stronger and stronger. And so Gomah starts powering up right here, and Goku's like, because yeah, he was trying to prevent that third eye from getting him even stronger, and Goku's like keeping the pressure on. He flies right to him. I just love that shot, man. Like, this version of SS4 Goku looks just so awesome. There are some people that don't like the design, but man, I think it looks awesome. Yeah, I am a bigger fan of the one from Dragon Ball GT, but this one right here I still think is really fantastic. And so Goku basically does a headbutt with Gomah right there, and both end up going, sending the force of it, sends them all flying right back. Matthew in the chat says, the punch also reminded me of Goku Super Dragon Punch, just without the golden dragon. The punch also reminded me, okay, it was posting twice for some reason here, but yeah, like the Dragon Fist explosion and everything. That actually is what it does remind me of when he's flying in towards and everything. Dragon Fist, yeah, or in Japanese, Ryokan. Yeah. So from here, Gomah basically and Goku, they're basically colliding. So you see, Gomah there goes with a big giant kick over to Goku and sends Goku flying. So he got a good shot on him, and only once the third power, the power of the third eye came about, and bam, that sends Goku right through right through the mountain right there, and Goku, he's able to stop it, and he basically teleports back, and I love it. He comes flying right back at Gomah, and he's like, try this one, and man, you see it. We get to zoom in for his eye for some reason, but then it goes right to his foot, and then Gomah is able to block it. Oh, I was like, man, I thought he was about to whack the crap out of Gomah with that one, but Gomah is able to block that, and it's like he's almost going to try and eat Goku right there, and bam! Oh, the way they drew it, he nails Goku. All of that. Goku takes all of that shot, and Goma's like, you can see how personal he's taking it. He's like, yeah, what's good now? Your power ain't to know after that. What's good now? You know, that's basically what he's looking like here and everything. But it's like, no, you trying up here act like you hard, but it's just the third eye. The third eye is doing all the work. And then from here, Gomah starts getting really fancy with its power, so he starts forming this blast. I'm like, oh crap, what are we about to see right here? And so the key blast starts forming right here, and Gomah starts getting this thing, and I think this was where Gomah actually is using some of his own magic. Yeah, that's the special staff that he uses, and he ends up forming it. And this is what I was talking about in previous episodes. I wanted to see more of this, because for all the talk, you kept hearing Glorio hype up Gomah's power. Degasu was afraid of Gomah's power, and this is something that I thought was really well done back in Dragon Ball Z, you know, when we had the great who was at Babidi, you know, what was the something that they were saying, like Krillin was like, he says, I think I'll take the little guy, and then Gohan was like, the little guy, that's Babidi, and the East Kaioshin, aka Nahare, aka the Supreme Kai, was like, yes, he is. He says, what did he say? Yeah, he said, yes, that's Babidi, and he is the most dangerous one of them all, for it is not his size you should be concerned with, but it's his dark demon magic that you should be very afraid of. He said something along those lines, and we see just amazing with Spokovich, Yamu, Dabura, aka Dabura, and even Vegeta when he becomes Majin Vegeta, just how powerful the magic of Babidi is. Here in Dragon Ball DAIMA, we don't really get that with Gomah. with Gomah, we don't really see what's this power that everyone was so afraid of. Like I said, the third eye is doing all the work, and it's something that I really wish we would have saw more of with Gomah. What is it that made him so feared from a magical standpoint? But yeah, they don't really do it. We got some more chat comments here. Dragon Ball Universe 12, bro, is this your first time watching this? No, I already watched it. I just got the screenshots together for the purpose of this and everything. So basically just going ahead, giving my recap and reviews for this and everything. And Matthew in the chat says, size matters not, Yoda. Yes, size matters not. Yeah, true. Very, very true. That's exactly what Toriyama has always done throughout the entirety of Dragon Ball, especially with Gomah. He's pretty much using his size and power here from the third eye. And then from here, we start getting these really cool sparking energy and all that stuff and everything. This is amazing, just really cool sparkle. I really love it. Like, these purple light orbs are flying around. This has got to be a huge attack, I imagine, on Dragon Ball Sparking Zero once Gomah ends up being a part of that DLC. And this is really cool. So you see SS4 Goku. He is just on point and just like, being cautious. And Gomah starts throwing this blast over, and he uses his staff here and just shoots it all. And I had to admit, this looks really awesome, and just an epic shot of SS4 Goku looking really fantastic. He's basically on point, and Goku starts, I think, was it punching? Yeah, boom, Goku just starts boxing all these things, punching them out all over the place, basically, boom. And I love the electricity blowing up as Goku's going all over the area, beating all of it up, taking all these shots. So basically none of these shots are doing anything that Gomah is shooting out. Goku's kicking them, punching them, just going ham on all these things, and they end up starting to go away. Man, this was just awesome. I really love just how we're seeing this Goku taking on all these things like a boss, absolute boss, kicking it all around. Like, man, that was fantastic. Look at this. I love the animation shot. Goku, like I said, is completely on point. And then from here, he starts flying right towards Gomah with the rage. And bam, basically just flying all over the area. And Gomah tries to sneak attack. So Gomah's gonna try. He meets Goku right there in the front, and bam, Goku meets him with another. Like I said, they keep doing a lot of fists, a lot of the clashing of the fists and everything. So that was like really incredible right there. And then you see all the cool purple blasts and everything. From there, they end up going away, and then Goku right there, he bam gets Gomah with a kick, was able to catch him off guard, and sends Gomah flying into the sky. He see Gomah is like, no, how is he doing this? Goku keeping the pressure on, and then Gomah, he ends up going right back, and then Goku tries to go for a punch, and then bam, Gomah ends up getting Goku right there in the back, and Goku's able to stop, and he comes right back, and then bam, Gomah going for another punch, and then no, Goku keeps the distance right there, goes for another punch, and then Goku, he's gonna go and try, oh, look at that, look how sick that shot is, boom, goes in for another punch, and did Goku get him? Yes, sends Gomah flying. Oh, I love these faces, man, from Gomah, sending that boy flying right through the rock, and man, fight continues. I'm going to go ahead and take a quick water break here. All right, in the chat, Dragon Ball Universe 12 asks if I'm on Twitch. Not really. I got a Twitch account, but I don't really stream on Twitch. I mostly just stream here on YouTube. And you also say, I love SSJ4 Goku. First time it was surprising. Yeah, I mean, like, who would have ever thought Toriyama would have actually, from his mind, we would have gotten SS4 from his mind, and everything, though he helped in terms of like the designs and stuff. Just, man, it's really been incredible just seeing these characters that Toriyama didn't make in like Broly, Gogeta, and just seeing them come to life through his mindset. It really has been fantastic. You also say, I wish Goku did Dragon Fist. Yeah, we had more to say about that. That would have That would have been something, talk about something that Toriyama didn't design. That would have been phenomenal to actually see here. And so, as we're getting back to the action here, you see the ground basically, yeah, all the dust dispersed there, and Gomah, he ends up flying right out of here, and then he's flying right towards SS4 Goku, but boom, look at that, I love it. SS4 Goku's such a strategist as a fighter, and that's what, you know, a lot of people like to say Goku's just a dumb character, but he's not. He's just not book smart. He can't really function that well in society, in terms of like, hey, going to the job and all that stuff and everything, doing bills and things like that, because he was raised in the woods. But as a martial artist, he is absolutely brilliant. Look how he fade Gomah, make it look like he ain't paying attention, and then boom, he's like, nope, gotcha, bam. But Gomah, he was able to block it. He was able to block it in time, but Goku, he keeps the power going, and boom, still is able to send Gomah flying out of the frame. And then we get this close-up of Goku's chest, and it gets bigger, and right here we get this cool energy, and bam, he does a cool power-up. Man, Masako Nozawa, she was absolutely on point with the screaming, and you know Sean Schemmel, I love this shot here, and he's like, I love it, man. I was getting so hyped up watching this. And then right here, Goku, he goes in, taking those big forearms and fists that he uses, and he goes like, he like punches Gomah does a double punch right to Gomah's ribs, and Gomah's like, oh, man, bam. And then from here, you see Gomah, the third eye starts to go on back, and he starts doing that technique. He did this in the previous couple episodes ago, where he starts forming the rocks and everything from the ground. They start coming to Goku, and Goku's, he's keeping on point. He's keeping on point as it's coming right towards him, and then boom, it starts barricading them. Yo, this reminds me, if you're a Naruto fan, what was it called? I'm trying to remember. What was that called? Man, what was that called? It was gravitational pull or something. It's done by pain. That's kind of what this reminded me of, if you guys are Naruto fans. And then right here, Gomah thinking he's got Goku, but nah, Goku, boom, powers right out of that, and he comes right back on the hunt, going right towards Gomah, and he starts charging up his fists, and I'm like, oh, it's about to be on. Boom, yes it is, Goku, bam, that boy had no answer, hands all out in the air, and the legs like, oh, he had no guard at all. Boom. And then, look at that. Look at the energy coming out of the back of Gomah. How is he not broken in half at this point? And Goku keeping the pressure on, looking at that face like, got the rage. And you start seeing the energy starts flying all over the battlefield, and they start zooming out, and it's breaking all the rocks. The punch was so powerful. It completely disintegrated all the surrounding area rocks. I'm like, yo, this is, we are in this final battle. Bam, that was just so sick. I was really liking that. Oh my gosh. And then from there, Goku with the punch right in Gomah, he starts getting that third eye. You know, if this is a WWE or wrestling match and we were watching this live, you know the fans would be always cheering on Goku, Goku, Goku. And then as soon as that comes up, they'd be like, boo, boo, because we know exactly what that's gonna mean. So I'm like, what the heck? In the chat, Dragon Ball Universe 12 says, or if Vegeta unlocked SS4 infused with Goku to go SS4 Gogeta. Yeah, I got some more to say about that, pertaining to some fusion bugs later on. And so Gomah, he starts going ahead doing another huge power up, and it's right from here, Goku, he starts flipping back around. I really love this. He almost turned into like something like Sonic, going in reverse right here. And then Goku lands on his ground right here, and he catches himself, and there you see Gomah still like, like I said, I can do this all day. Because he's bigger, he's stronger now, he's got the third eye, he keeps getting more power, and there you see SS4 Goku. Now it's starting to take an effect on him. Goku he's sucking there, he's like, and then he takes a breath. And then he smiles. I'm like, oh, Goku's like, no, this ain't Super Saiyan 3. This is not Super Saiyan 3, not Super Saiyajin 3. That's all 3 ways you can say it. I'm like, he is not. He's showing that, no, there is a much better energy reserve with SS4. No stamina issues here. And right there, I love that whole smile. I had to use it as the thumbnail for this one. Gomah is like, what? How? And he's like, Arr! And Goku, he starts powering up, and I'm loving it, and he starts powering right up, and Gomah's like, well, I can do it too. he starts powering up and he flies, and you get this big collision. Boom, both going at it, and then they're colliding. SS4 Goku on point, looking at with the hair flowing and everything, starts taking a ki blast and then shoots it right over to Gomah and starts shooting that out like boom, 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 boom. And Gomah does some weird technique right there, where he puts his hand like that, and he's able to go ahead and disperse that and block it. But boom, so quick, SS4 Goku already all in his grill, well, trying to get into his grill. Got the forearms going there, and bam, Goku saw the opening, kicks him right in the, oh, this is my part right here. I love this. I was going crazy when I was first watching this. This was my part here. So after Gomah, he goes ahead and he kicks him right in the face. Boom, sends Gomah flying, and then as Gomah's going at a fast rate, bam, goes into the ground, and you see the third eye. It starts forming, and Gomah starts shooting the blast, and he starts shooting those rocks over Goku, and Goku's like, and he starts dodging, flying all around these things, just bam, and Gomah is super angry. He's like, just die, and then boom, Goku comes right by his face, and he's like, what? How did you move that fast? Goku comes with that fist, bam, sends Gomah flying. Gomah's like, ha, and then right there, nah, Goku's like, no, we keeping the pressure going, and then boom, goes for a punch. Gomah is able to dodge it, and then right there, he tries to hit Goku. Nope, no, Goku's able to block, block, dodge, and Gomah's like, you got to be kidding me! And right there, SS4 Goku just flexing all right. Let's go! Come on! Let's go! And Lava's like, yes, let's go! And Goku basically starts flying right towards Gomah. Goma's so quick. Goku's so quick, Gomah's like, got no answer. He's not even trying to block. He's like, oh! Bam! Kicks him right in the chest and sends this boy flying deep into the ground. Boom! Through another rock. Boom, through another rock. Boom, through another rock. Super speed. Look how fast they're moving. Bam, to another rock. And Gomah, he gets his hand out, and Goku's like, nuh-uh. With that little eye, yeah, he sees it. Goku is on fire. Look at the focus in SS4 Goku's eye. And then bam, Gomah's gonna try to do the clothesline. You know, that's what he took Vegeta out with in like the last episode, or he grabs him. Yeah, he grabs Gomah. So Goku knows this position very well from his first fight with Vegeta. It did him in. And then Gomah's gonna try and chuck Goku, and boom, chucks him deep into the rocks, and thinking that's gonna be it. Goku goes through that rock, he goes onto the ground, and he's deep into the ground. And I really love the colors here, right here. And Gomah flies in, and why in the demon realm, when they get in these dark shadowy eras, everything starts glowing up. I don't know, but yeah, Gomah goes right in there, and I'm like, oh, is he about to break out the Makokoso Pole, aka Special Beam Canyon? And he starts forming something with the third eye, and he shoots these ki blasts over to Goku. This really starts reminding me of when Gogeta and Broly broke the fabric dimensions, and they ended up just being so powerful they got transported to another dimension. That's exactly what this reminded me of, and the colors definitely remind me, like these energy balls here, it reminds me of what Cell Max was trying to use in Dragon Ball at the end of Dragon Ball Superhero when he fights Beast Gohan. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they took some inspiration for this. After all, I felt like so much of this is really tied into the years of Dragon Ball. Let's see, in the chat we got here, the English SS3 transformation song is still one of my favorite, but we'll most likely never hear it again. That was from Matthew. Yeah, that was an awesome theme song. But yeah, with what happened with Bruce, was it Falconer, in the way things went out with Funimation now, aka Crunchyroll, yeah, you're probably never, but times are different now. We got music, basically. The Japanese music, I think, really represents the series well, and we're in a time where people want the original Japanese music. I love both, though, so definitely, it still works for me. Dragon Ball Universe 12 says, aka Dragon Ball GT. Oh yeah, talking about from the SS4, or as I like to say it in the English dub, Dragon Ball GT. All right, let me take a little break here before we get back to the action. Alright, so Goku is completely surrounded by these big, giant, huge balls that are colored green and purple, and Gomah is ready to unleash these attack. And these energy balls right here just start shooting out like little tiny beams. I'm like, okay, this is cool. I'm like, oh man, Goku's got to evade these. This reminds me of what was the first movie, Resident Evil, when I remember they were trapped in this room and all these little laser beams were going around. If you got touched, you got sliced and you got sliced up and everything. And there was one guy, he was like really athletic and he's dodging everything. And so when the thing comes right back, it forms tiny squares that take up the whole room. And he's like, oh crap. And then boom, it goes right through him and he goes down to a bunch of like tiny pieces and stuff. I was like, oh my gosh, this is kind of what this reminded me like. But SS4 Goku stays on point. He's dodging all of this and I'm like, oh, this looks so sick, man. SS4 Goku still on point dodging. He's dodging there and you start seeing under the ground, it just starts breaking the entire area and boom, blast and everything comes right on out. Like, this is awesome. SS4 Goku basically on point, uses his power to basically destroy all of Goma's attack and send Gomah flying right out of the air. Man, that was so sick. And SS4 Goku is looking on point. I love it, absolutely. And Goma's like, oh, like he just getting frustrated because he can't do anything. He just cannot match SS4 Goku's martial arts knowledge. And he goes right there with another fist colliding and boom. Yeah, I do wish the choreography was a little bit more versatile in this fight and everything. But man, it still looks just so amazingly beautiful. SS4 Goku on point ends up sending Gomah flying right back with another uppercut. And then he flies right towards Gomah. Boom, Gomah is not, yeah, there you go. Goku's able to dodge Gomah's punch, and then bam, Goku gives him another punch. Should have punched him right in that third eye, and then bam, sends Gomah flying. Is this my part? I think this is the part I alluded to earlier. Goku then goes with another punch, bam, to the face, and then he goes a backdrop, lands on his hand to Gomah's shoulder, and Gomah's like, and Goku goes right there, bam, look at that, look how smooth Goku did that. He dodges and gently just goes ahead, puts his hand on, does like a little handstand on Gomah's forearm, like, oh, and bam, kick to Gomah's face. No, that was a punch. No, was it a kick? Yeah, it's a kick to Gomah's face, then a punch, hit him with a two-piece combo, and then bam, Goku flies right over to the other area, stops before Gomah can even get, his whole body can even just get to flying out of frame. Goku says, boom, does another kick right to Gomah's face, and then flies right back up. Boom, does a kick right into the middle of the face. Boom, another punch. Boom, another right. Boom, nothing to the under chin. Boom, to the left. Gomah's like, oh, Goku just hammering out like, like, man, Goku was messing him up. Bam, another elbow. Bam, to the back. Boom, another punch. Boom, to the right. Like, how many combos did he get him with that one? Let me go back. Goku hit this man with a, what was it? He hit this man with, I think it was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then was that it? Yes, 11 hit combo. Yo, Goku messed this man up with an 11 hit combo. I'm like, dang, holy crap, man. Let's see, we got some stuff here saying, in the chat, Dragon Ball Universe 12 says, Dan, that's how it starts. Oh my gosh, that is my favorite Dragon Ball theme song. That and Limit Breaker X Survivor, Dan Kokoroni. But yeah, I can't speak Japanese, but yeah, I know the theme song. Love it. One of my favorite theme songs, absolutely. And then what was it? He says, Dragon Ball Universe 12 also says, you know, Dragon Ball GT is after Super. I mean, timeline wise, yeah, it takes place after the end of Z. So I mean, 10 years, yeah, later and everything, yeah, timeline wise. But yeah, as I've got quite a bit to say about continuity, the two timelines really don't mix up. He also says, but he did not go SS God, SS Blue, and Ultra Instinct because he couldn't, because his body did not let him. Well, yeah, I mean, when we look at the timeline, this is way before Super and stuff, and then GT, like I said, it takes place in a different timeline, so yeah, there's just no way that those can correlate. And like I said, I got more to say about continuity later on. Oh boy, do I. But from here, in terms of the fight, as S4, Goku sends Gomah flying out after that amazing 11-hit combo, and then Goku goes ahead and flies right towards Gomah, keeping it on, grabs him by the leg, and look at Gomah like, oh no, I thought it was over. And well, this is a move, the classic AK throw, the classic throw for Goku. It's always his grab move on all the Dragon Ball fighting games. So he starts spinning that boy around, just spinning him, and Gomah's like, no! And it keeps getting faster and 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 faster. And he's going so fast that he just looks like a big giant red blur at this point. And Goku's like, ah! And then bam, throws it, man. Like, I just like, dude, I'm like, when it comes to this fight, I don't think I have seen a worser beatdown from Son Goku in the entire franchise. This has to go down as one of the all-time greatest Goku beatdowns. Gomah got a few good shots in, but this fight so far, for the most part, this fight whole thing was pretty much all Son Goku. This is one of the most focused, one of the most determined, full-on beatdowns I've ever seen, man. Matthew in the chat says a giant swing like Claudio / Cesaro would be proud. Yes, the whole swing, yeah, for sure, man. And then basically Gomah, I just love it. He's going to see, he's like, oh, and look how quick Goku flies right behind him, and then bam, another kick to the back. Oh my gosh, I gotta give it up for Gomah's spine, man. Gomah's spine, his rib cage, he can certainly take a lot. Man, that was something really interesting. Look at the eyeballs and the lips standing out. Like, just Gomah's hilarious. Oh my gosh. And then SS4 Goku just keeping on the pressure and just flying right towards him. And then he goes right over to Gomah. Gomah's trying to like, oh, I'm gonna get you. And boom, nah, Goku's like, you ain't getting nothing. He goes ahead and punches Gomah, sends him flying back. He's like, oh! And Goku flies right in front of him, and boom, boy didn't even know what hit him. Goku got him with the big punch, sends Gomah flying right back. Gomah stops himself. He starts shooting ki blasts at Goku, but nah, it ain't gonna work. Goku dodging all your stuff. Goku starts forming his own blast, and then you see the big giant energy, and look at that shot. Goku's like, take this, and bam, sends that little tiny ki blast over to Gomah, and Gomah, he is able to knock the blast out of the way, but look how quickly Goku's right to his fist, and he flies right towards him, and look at that. Gomah thinks he's all focused. He's not even paying attention. Goku's moving so fast because Gomah's not even paying attention, and bam, got him right in the jaw. Gomah didn't even see it coming. He's like, oh, he's like, where you at? Oh! Absolutely love it. SS4 Goku. And he keeps the pressure going, then dang near knocked his teeth all out of it. Goku on point, keeping the pressure as he sends Gomah flying right in the ground. This is my part here, another one of my great epic parts. You can tell this is something that Goku will learn very much about when it comes to Broly. But Goku, he goes ahead and and channels his inner Broly, who is someone he'll meet much later on, given where the timeline is in this part of Dragon Ball DAIMA. So Goku goes ahead, has Gomah right by the fist, with his fist basically right by the cheek, and bam, sends it right into the rock, and then right there, he's like, we going for a ride. He bam, goes ahead and glides him right through the ground, like I'm like, man, he dragged him by the face with his fist, and look at Goku, he has no remorse, he's showing no mercy, as you should not when it comes to these villains. And bam, Goku keeping that pressure on. Oh, sends Gomah flying, bam, to the ground. Eat dirt. That's what he basically said. I was like, yo, that's crazy. Y'all remember, if you're a WWE fan out there, I remember The Undertaker hog tying Hulk Hogan, and he got on the he got on his motorcycle and he literally just rides down the hallway with Hogan hog tied, and Hogan's not able to do anything, and he stops and it causes Hogan to slide right into a bunch of boxes with these metal pipes in it. And I was like, oh man, that's kind of what this reminded me of. That's just the wrestling fan in me and stuff like that. Oh man, such good stuff. And you see Gomah right there, he's like, ah, and they're all like us, they're like amazing, right? Because we're seeing Goku and everything, and there you see Gomah sucking wind, like, and then boom, that darn third eye's got to come there because he's just not good enough to do it on his own. All right, let me take a break before we get to the climax of the battle here. All right, so in the chat here we got Dragon Ball Universe 12. What if Goku went Ultra Instinct Universal? Like a Ultra Instinct Universal mode, like he can go universal. I mean, hey, if he's going to Ultra Instinct, and I think he's already reached universal level destroying with the God form. So I mean, yeah, he does something really crazy in the manga. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but yeah, it kind of would probably be like that, like a Sasuno type of thing from Naruto. You also say probably be if he trains. Well, yeah, I mean Goku's he's gonna get to multi-level versus levels of destruction soon with his power. And then getting back to the action here, Gomah being revived by that third eye, and you see SS4 Goku right there. He's like, I gotta do something to put this guy away. And this right here, I thought he was about to break out the dragon fist. Like, this is the iconic pose that Goku did at the end of movie 13 when he beat Hirudegan. The electricity starts flowing right through his air, through his fist right there, and then you see SS4 Goku is on point, and he starts powering up, and it's like, yo, this was phenomenal. I was like, holy crap, look at that epic power up, and you start seeing the energy, the aura coming out of the ground, and boom, just starts completely being a huge destruction and everything, just completely wiping out the entire area with the cool aura. Look how gigantic Goku's aura, and he starts having thunderbolts coming out of the sky and everything. I'm like, yes, when you want to get over how powerful form is, this is what you do. This is exactly how it goes. And the electricity's flying everywhere, thunder everywhere, and Gomah's like, what's he doing? And it sends him flying back, and Gomah's able to try and hold on. He's like, I do it in Japanese, nani? And there you see SS4 Goku doing a huge power up, and I'm like, oh my, what is he about to do? Is he about to transform again? Goku just looking so phenomenal there, and he starts powering up. And then Gomah, he's like, curse you, or probably damn it. And the third eye starts giving him another power boost, and he starts shooting all these different ki blasts powered again from the third eye over to Goku. And I was like, yo, look at that. Son Goku's aura is so strong, it is reflecting and destroying the ki blast. This reminds me of in Dragon Ball Super, when I think Jiren was trying to use his power to pressure Goku, and he was able to fight it up using the power of the aura that he was getting as Ultra Instinct. And right there you see, man, just all the thunder destroying all of Gomah's attacks, and Goku's on point, just still powering up. Yes, he is basically showing Gomah, you have effed with the wrong one. You are about to find out that you have effed around, and now it's time to find out. And Goku, man, like I said, can't do it justice. Masako Nozawa absolutely killed all the screaming performances. You know Shanshin was gonna absolutely kill it in the dub. Man, look at this. And Goku just starts going crazy with the cool blast right here. I love the shot when he's like, and and man, you start seeing the zoom out with the aura basically going all over the area, the thunder coming down all over the place, and I'm like, oh, they're like, holy crap. Even when I was watching, like, whoa, what is Goku about to do? What is he about to do? And man, I'm like, look at Bluma, aka Bulma. She hasn't witnessed too many of Goku's fights in person, I think, since the Piccolo fight at the 23rd Tenkaichi Budokai. So it's like really cool. She's witnessing this one in battle, and even Vegeta's like, what the heck is going on here? And man, look at that. Look at Son Goku's aura. You don't get no better than that. The gold energy taking up the whole battlefield. The thunderbolts all over the area. Like, man, this is how you really let the power know. And then Goku standing right there. I love it. On business. Look at that. That is the face of, you are about to get murked. I am done playing games. Goku is ready. He is, I was like, let's go. Goku's on focus. I guess he went full power here, and what I really like is that he's able to do it on his own, not that stuff they did in Dragon Ball GT, where all them had to gather around him and give him their energy to make him even stronger, which to me didn't make any sense. But you see Goku right there. He puts his footing down, and he gets his hand, and he starts forming like, oh, we know what's coming. It is the legendary move, the most popular move in all of Dragon Ball, the legendary Kamehameha wave, and I am loving every bit of it, because Goku, he starts forming and then it starts forming this really cool blue aura, and Goma's like, ah! So he's gonna use the power for another power boost on the third eye, and he shoots this sucker right at there, and that's a really cool, awesome looking attack, but Goku stands his ground literally. And then he unleashes. Oh my gosh, I was like, yo, this Kamehameha looks so sick, because the way it's animated, the animators, the visual effects, oh my gosh, they do this zoom out of the aura, and you see the with the red flames and everything. And I'm like, no way, are we gonna get a Kamehameha that tops the last one with the flames coming out of the ground? Because this thing is trying to attack his Kamehameha, and you see as it's flying towards the sky. I love how they zoom out of the distance and stuff, and man, the Kamehameha starts going ahead, and it starts flying all into the sky, and I'm like, oh boy, here we go. It hits this big giant death ball that he's created, and there you see on impact, it completely destroys the third eye's death ball, and Goma's like, ah, and he's trying with all his might and his power. He's like, work like you've worked for me this entire time. It cannot be destroyed. And Goku right there just completely unleashing his Kamehameha, and I just love the animation sick. This is really awesome. That cool side shot, like when he did the Kamehameha Kaioten ×4 on Vegeta in their first battle, and you just see the red and the blues in this, and look at that. Look how sick this is. Goku unleashes even more power with the Kamehameha, and Goma's trying his best. He's like, come on, work, and Goku just staying on point. I love it, absolutely. And you see the Kamehameha starts going right through the big blast, and I'm on the edge of the seat. I was just like them. I'm like, what is going on? What is going on? Is he gonna do it? And everybody's like, finish him. Let's do it. Because you know they are tired of Gomah. They're like, kill this man. Get it over with. Done. We are done being under his rule. And Goma's like, come on, you can do it. Let's go. And Vegeta's like, let's go. Well, you see Naruto's like, let's go. And Vegeta's like, come on. Everybody on the edge of the seats. Piccolo like, I'm ready to make the kill. And then right there, Goma's like, damn it, more power. He's trying so hard to get the third eye to actually go over. He's like, gah! And then with more power coming towards the Kamehameha, Goku still staying on point. fire, and he's like, yeah! Unleashes it. We get a zoom into the eye, and look at that. I'm like, whoa, this Goku on fire. This is like a demon, like Goku is a demon possessed coming right at the Gomah. Like, my gosh, he looks like hell itself has gone ahead and fused with Son Goku. How appropriately here in the demon realm, and he unleashes this big blast, and look at Goku on point with this huge Kamehameha, and it goes right through Gomah's entire technique, and boom, and then it hits Gomah. He's like, what? It completely destroyed it. And then the Kamehameha, bam, hits Gomah right in the gut, and then boom! I'm like, oh, right through. I'm like, let's go. It's go right through Gomah. I'm like, bam, reminded me of when Raditz got hit with the Makogoso pole, aka Special Beam Canyon. But ladies and gentlemen, that ain't it. If you think this is where the Kamehameha is going, no. It's gone through Gomah, and then as it's shooting right out of Gomah, and Gomah's like, ah! Got that boy looking like the Undertaker from WWE. Goku, he ends up sending this Kamehameha. He's giving him as much power as he goes, so it goes into the sky, and it shoots right through the sky, and then boom, hits through the water, and goes through the ground here, and I'm like, where's this thing going? Where is it going? I'm like, holy crap, all that Kamehameha is going right through Gomah, and as it goes through the ground, I'm like, where is it going? Where is it going? And then I'm like, is that what I think it is? And I'm like, it is. I'm like, yo, he just did a Kamehameha that broke through the third demon world into the second demon realm, and then it keeps going and going and going, and it goes to the rocks, and I'm like, where is it going? And it's going even further, and then it shoots up out of here. I'm like, where's this at? I'm like, yo, it broke through the first demon world. Boom! I'm like, this is sick. My man Son Goku just unleashed a Kamehameha that went through Gomah, went through the first demon world, went through the second demon world, went through the third demon world. He just broke through 3 different whole worlds, 3 different dimensions within one realm. I'm like, holy crap. That's like, in terms of the demon world, this man just did a Kamehameha that broke through 3 universes or something like that. I'm like, oh, and they're like, whoa, they're like, ah, that is so much power. This thing goes ahead and it disperses, and then the water from the second demon realm starts pouring into the first demon world, and it's pouring there, and we get a zoom out of Gomah's stomach, and then right there, Gomah's like, oh, I'm like, oh, hands down, one of the greatest Kamehameha waves we have ever seen. I'm like, wow, I did not expect Dragon Ball DAIMA to not surprise me with one amazing Kamehameha moment, but a second that I can put right up there with some of the best Kamehamehas we've seen, from the father-son Kamehameha, from what was it when of course the awesome Kamehameha wave that we got when Goku defeated Kefla. Fantastic. Let me see what the chat's got to say about this. Let's see. Okay, Dragon Ball Universe 12 said, be right back. Matthew says, it's time for one of the best and most beautiful looking Kamehamehas of all time. So powerful, it pierces through all 3 levels of the demon realm. Yeah, it was fantastic, man. The animators bringing Toriyama's vision to life. I don't know if they did that or if that's what Toriyama wrote. Maybe he just wrote in the notes, hey, a Kamehameha is so powerful it goes through all 3 demon realms. And the animators, if that's what Toriyama left and wrote into the story, man, did these animators do a fantastic job of unleashing that. Holy crap, what a moment, what a great Kamehameha, something to be remembered as an all-timer in Dragon Ball, and just Dragon Ball history for sure. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and take me another water break. Wow, look at how focused Son Goku looks after that. Man, that Kamehameha, I just love the way this was done. And you see she's Nahare, aka the East Kaushin, aka the Supreme Kai Vegeta, completely shocked. That was me after it. And Goma's like, and everything. And Goku right there on point. I love too, the animators just did a phenomenal job with the blue lighting being on the hands of SS4 Goku. Just absolutely phenomenal. And you just see him smiling as they cut to the commercial break. And I just think, right here, I gotta just acknowledge the animators did such a phenomenal job here. As we know, like I said, the legendary looking at it, for the animator, the legendary Natoshi Shira was on point. The animation for this episode, it says the animation director was Tadayoshi Yamuro, who obviously has done a lot of work for Dragon Ball. I know some of the fandom, a lot of the fandom nowadays isn't a fan of his style of the way he draws the characters and shades them and stuff, compared to what he did back in the 90s. But I thought his work did look really good here. And of course, Yuya Takahashi was also serving as an animation director, and you guys know that guy is always on point. I love his multi-layer shading and everything. And then you have Shikashi Kuboto, who's also been on this for the whole time. Just, man, a phenomenal. Just like, they had so many animators, I can't name them all here, but just a huge, amazing, talented team all over the world working on this. And man, my hat goes off to them, because if there's one thing for sure, Dragon Ball DAIMA consistently has been the absolute greatest animated piece of Dragon Ball work ever, from top to bottom. Every single episode to the final episode, consistently, this has been the best Dragon Ball series from an animation consistency standpoint. Absolutely phenomenal, and they did a phenomenal job with this final battle. And then just getting back to the fight here, so you see Gomah, he's got a hole in him, and right here as he goes ahead and steps back, SS4 Goku, he's looking, and he's basically, I think he yells now, or it's Piccolo going like now. So Piccolo takes off his cape and turban, and he flies right towards Gomah, and he goes in, and then he puts his foot in, and then bam, gets one kick in on Gomah, the back of Gomah's head. And then you start seeing right here with Gomah's energy and stuff, it starts reflecting that's the first hit. So if this was a WWE or pro wrestling match, it'd be like 1, and then Piccolo goes in, boom, and then we'll be like 2, and then from here he's like, and now it's all over, and then bam, as he goes in for that big punch, Goku's looking like, come on, and then Piccolo's like, oh, bam, Gomah ends up punching him right in the face, and you see everybody is shocked. They're like, oh, and bam, he basically completely backslapped Piccolo, gave him what's they called the pimp slap Piccolo. And Piccolo goes flying out, and Piccolo hits the rock, boom, and that's all he wrote for everyone's favorite green character. And I thought this is like, he failed, and everybody's like, what do we do now? And Gomah's eye, you start seeing it starts going blue, and it's nearly trying to get out and escape, and he's like, curses, he tried to remove the third eye. Which really makes me wonder from here, why didn't Goku do that? Why didn't SS4 Goku do that when he got like an 11-hit combo earlier on him? Couldn't he have hit Gomah once in the face and then quickly fly around the back and hit him with those 3 shots, and there would have been all she wrote? Why did he put so much faith in Piccolo? So I guess though here the story was he finally did a Kamehameha that was strong enough to weaken Gomah enough so it wouldn't give him the time for the third eye to heal him and power boost him, and they thought maybe they could go in right there. And so right there, the third eye once again proving more devastation as Gomah right here starts getting repaired, it starts shooting out of this blast, and you see it completely goes ahead and destroys whatever was left over the battlefield near there. And this is where Dr. Arisu basically is like, there could be more hints in that book. And so you see Majin Ku right there. He's got the book of magic there, and he's trying to escape all the chaos going there. And this third eye completely starts repairing. They can see it on their faces. Vegeta's like, F this, I'm gone. And Nahare's like, yeah, me too. So they fly, and everyone's just flying in. They are not gonna, and I love this. I love it because so much in Dragon Ball over here, so many times they just stand there like, like, nope, they know the mission. They said, we cannot afford to let this guy regenerate again and get another power boost. We cannot. So everyone just starts flying in. Tamagami number 1, Majin Du. Goku's gonna be like, you know, I'm not sure how much power he's got left, but he's gonna go in there and flying at them. And then the third eye starts glowing, and it starts doing this electricity that goes from like pillar to pillar to pillar, and it's going all over the battlefield. And you see this big purple electricity that just starts shining away, and the electricity basically is starting to power up here, and it goes and thunderbolts to all our heroes trying to get in and jump on Gomah, and it hits everyone, sending them flying back. SS4 Goku's the only one that was able to obviously withstand it, but it sends Vegeta base form, Nahanare, Gomah flying, and you see the rest of our non-fighting heroes. They're like, oh no, this is not good. And I had to admit, this did look pretty spooky right here with Gomah going like and I love how you see all their hopes and dreams are going, as right there the third eye starts healing the wound in the stomach, and you see King Kaiden or Kim Kaden, and I think that's his right hand woman, and you see Pansy and Bluma, aka Bulma, and Dende. You can see the look and terror on their face. You can see Goku's like, no, we were so close. And man, boom, it settles in, and Gomah is fully healed. He's even more bigger. He's even stronger. That third eye just making him so strong, and he just starts laughing. What did I tell you all? I can do this all day, pretty much. And he just starts laughing, and there you see the third eye. It's like, what can be done? You see Gomah's like, and everything, and he starts laughing and powering up, and you just see this huge orb. We got like the Christmas colors and everything, sending everybody flying. And Gomah looking like a rip-off Jiren that he is, gigantic back, just laughing, feeling ill. He feels indestructible. He's like, that is a Toriyama face. That is classic Toriyama, the way he drew that. And let's see, even Matthew in the chat says, classic Toriyama. It's not Goku who beats the big bad. It's the comedy character. Well, that's what leads us to our next part. SS4 Goku. He's the only one that's left standing. Everybody's been sent flying. What can Goku do in this time? And you see Majin Ku. He's just holding on to dear life for the Book of the Magic. And as he's being thrown away by all the power, he looks over and he sees, he sees the back of Gomah's head, and he's like, and he's like, boom, 1. And he's like, I got 1 off on him. And he goes like, boom, hits him again, 2. I just realized it looks like those faces look like Marba, the witch that created the original Majin Buu. And then he goes for the 3rd hit, boom, and that's 3. And then then you see Gomah, the third eye, it's glowing, and it starts having all this cool effect, like starts malfunctioning, and then it boom starts pulling down, and Gomah's like, boom, it pops out, he's like, and they're like, and Goku's like, and you see the third eye, look at Gomah looking at all his hopes and dreams, what he worked so hard through this entire series to obtain. Well, let me take that back. Did he really work hard to find it? It just kind of randomly dropped into his hands, but it's what he wanted. And then you see the energy, it starts to it disperses. Boom, that big arena that he created, it completely blows out of everything, breaks the whole arena apart. The third eye falls onto the ground. It bounces, and Goma's like, ah! And he starts shrinking, and the third eye rolls over to Glorio's foot, and Glorio's like, huh? And they're like, no way, it's out. And Goku's like, oh. And right there, Gomah, Glorio, not even hesitating, not even thinking about it, goes ahead and stomps right there on the third eye, and it completely disperses away, and it's done. It's destroyed. And we got sunlight right there back. And Gomah has been reduced to his original form. And therefore, ladies and gentlemen, the winner, Majin Ku! This is pretty much Toriyama's way of saying, for all you who doubted Majin Ku, for all you that thought he looked weak, for all of you that thought he was gonna be nothing, for all of you who thought he was a waste of time, for all of you who thought that he had no purpose in the series, in your face, Majin Ku saves the day. Who would have ever thought Majin Ku is the hero of Dragon Ball DAIMA? All 20 episodes led to Majin Ku being the winner, and this even goes for myself, as I said back in when he first debuted. Why does bro look like Paikuhan and Majin? Why does he look like Majin? Paikuhan, the Saibai man, and Kid Buu all had a menage a trois, and 9 months later, that guy popped out. And I was just joking, of course, at the time, because as I said back then, right after I made that joke, was that all joking aside, this is Toriyama to a T. Toriyama loves, he said in interviews that he loves taking people's expectations of what you think is going to be somebody who might do something and might be weaker, and then doing the opposite with them. And I said this, we could see with Fat Buu. Fat Buu looked like a complete buffoon, but boy did Toriyama know how to make him menacing. And right here, Majin Ku, he really used what made Mark Satan, aka Mr. Satan, or some of you might know from the edited English dub, Hercule. He made him, it seemed like he was a weak character, but he became one of the most useful characters in the series that led to the defeats of Cell and Majin Buu. And here, Majin Ku, he said it from the start, it was foreshadowing. Majin Ku said, hey, even though I'm not that strong, I can be useful in other ways, and boy, was he. Oh my gosh, who would have ever thought Majin Ku of all people? I think like Matthew says in the chat there, just like when Yajirobe had cut Vegeta's tail. Yep, that same storytelling. Man, I was cracking up when I saw it. I was like, yo. I was like, who would have ever thought Majin Ku would defeat the big villain? Everybody's up here talking about fusion bugs and new forms of Gogeta and doing the Dragon Fist, aka Ryuken, breaking out another Genki Dama / Spirit Bomb. Everybody's thinking of all these big giant epic ways, and I don't think anybody was saying, hey, Majin Ku's just gonna come up and slap this villain Gomah upside the head 3 times with a book and call it a day, and that's it. Nobody. I don't recall anybody. Oh my gosh. Or if they did, I just didn't come across them. Wow. And I kind of laugh because I'm like, this ending right here, oh man, this ending is gonna make some people mad, because if you were one of those people hoping for one of these big time epic finishes like what happened with Frieza, Cell, and Buu, I'm like, oh, they're mad, they don't get it, right? But for those of us out there, I would say that no, Akira Toriyama, this is Toriyama. He's a gag manga artist, and it's something I've always said during this whole review process of Dragon Ball DAIMA. Toriyama at heart is a gag manga artist. And everything, like his editors, they pushed him back in when he was reading the manga and everything, and stuff like that. One of the most notable ones, I think, I'm trying to remember his name, was it Torishima? I think it was Toriyama's editor. I think it was Torishima, right? That was his name. His editor was Torishima. Kazukiyo Torishima. All right, just trying to make sure I remember his name. Yeah, he was very influential when it came to like taking Dragon Ball and pushing Toriyama into like darker places with like the Frieza, Cell, particularly the Cell saga and everything. But at its core, Toriyama's always been a gag manga artist, and this is totally right up his alley. So I'm very satisfied with the finish. Yeah, it would have been cool to see some of that stuff, but yeah, it is what it is. I feel like you really have to be someone who understands Toriyama work to understand why this ending fits so well compared to the big giant epic finishes that we get and stuff like that. So it made me laugh. It was, I did not expect it to end that way, but when it did, I'm like, yep, that's Toriyama for you. So yeah, I did enjoy it and everything. It's from like there, and I love the urgency from Gomah. What I will say though is, I was like, for as hyped as this third eye is and how strong it is, it took a weakling like Gomah, and look how powerful it made him and kept making him stronger. I'm like, that's how easily it is to be defeated. He just steps on it and it's gone. Like, okay. I'm like, wow, okay. I'm like, I didn't imagine that the third eye was so easy to defeat. So only when it's in its user. I was also hoping maybe more of a story that the third eye is too much to control, but the third eye is very loyal to whoever puts it in there. It really had Gomah's back. It kept making him regenerate and all that stuff. So yeah, and there you go. From there, and you see Piccolo and Vegeta completely shocked, and you see Bluma, aka Gomah, and Pansy running Glorio, and from there you see they're happy, and you see Majin flies down to the ground like, yep, I did it. I'm the one that did it. I beat Gomah. I beat the third eye. Well, Goku did all the work, but there you go. Gomah did. There he is. Majin looking so proud of himself. So there you go, man. They were that screwed. But if he was able to do that, I just had to imagine Goku could have done that. But yeah, it is what it is there. And you see that they're like, huh? And he's like, and he's like, what? Why can't I finish things? And they said, yeah, you were amazing, Majin. And you see Bluma, Gomah, aka Gomah, East Kyle Shin. They're like, yeah, you did it and stuff. And everybody's giving him that recognition, you know. And they're like, well done, friend. You know, Majin, the guy that seemed like he was nothing but a whack-looking character, because Toriyama absolutely did design him to be whack, just so that way he can go ahead and go against all our expectations and prove that, yeah, just because you look whack doesn't mean that you end up being wacky in terms of or not doing some incredible things that are not whack or whatever. And here, I mean, I guess I missed this off screen. The right hand woman of King Kaden, aka King Kaden, however you say his name, has already formed a special handshake with Majin and stuff and everything. So that was really cool to see. And yeah, I mean, they're like, I was like, okay, like, all right. I was like, when did this bond happen off screen like that? That's something that they just made. And you see Neva right there, happy. Even Tamagami 1 is smiling on there. And there you go. I mean, how can you not be happy for Majin? He's a true story of a person that seemed like they were going to be a reject, but they ended up turning into a big true hero. And this part was really cool right here that I did enjoy. He walks up to Dr. Arensu and, you know, says, Arensu-sama. And she's right there, and she ends up elbowing him, giving him a light elbow jab to the chest, and he ends up smiling. And I like this moment because it always seemed like Dr. Arensu was kind of like, oh, well, you're the disappointment in the family. She's like, you're the disappointment of that child that she's like, oh, you're such a disappointment, which would be terrible, right? But Majin really worked hard to earn Arensu's to get recognition from Arensu, and it's like he finally earned her recognition and stuff and everything, and like he's proud because, you know, kids just want to make the parents proud and stuff like that. So that's kind of what it came off in this moment here. So that was cool to see in going on right here. And then you had Pansy just being happy, and they're all waving there at SS4 Goku. Seeing this design, by the way, I will say, I think the four hands, the forearms and the big muscles, I mean, well, the big forearms and the big hands, man, I think they're like a little bit too big. Right, a little too big, basically, for the form. Like, I think they could be downsized a little bit more, but I still like the form there. I don't even know what the purpose of the pants are, if he needs to wear the belt buckle or whatever for the pants. So yeah, and you see everyone is just happy. Goku, he did his job. We're getting that real happy ending that we see. It's like, wow, it's crazy to see all this, not after some big giant battle, but rather we get this after the Majin coup finish that nobody saw coming, and Goku, he just ends up, his last line in SS4 is looks like it worked out. And Piccolo's like, yeah. And there's Vegeta, like, because he's thinking, like, how did Kakarot get that Super Saiyan 4? And so right there, we get our last shot of SS4 Goku, and we end with him smiling there. All right, I'm gonna take a water break before we continue on here. All right, we have some new people in the chat. Baseball Pro, nice. I like the energy. Thank you. Leon Brown says, "Breathe, my guy." He must be talking about my energy and how excited and energetic I get and everything. Don't worry, I get plenty of breathing in, that's for sure. And so there we go with Gomah looking on. Basically, that was a short rule. Yeah, they're like basically trolling him at this point. That was a short rule, and he's like, "How dare you! I'm the Supreme Demon King." And he says, "Are you thought?" And he's like, "I thought you were senile." And here you have Marba and Arensu, and they said you can repent for the next 100 years in here. And he's like, "What?" And he goes like, "But I didn't kill Dente." No, Piccolo, he ends up going like, "But he didn't try to kill Dente." And he's like, "Right, I'm a good guy at heart." And he's like, "We'll make it 99 years. And he's like, "What? Don't do it." And so from here, Dr. Arensu, I don't know, she starts smoking something there that sends the energy right out next to Gomah, and it is, of course, Degasu, and they've got him wrapped up in all this purple bubblegum look up, and he's like, "Huh?" And he's like, "Let's include Degasu so he has some company." And so Marba's like, "Splendid idea." And so this is pretty much the Mafuba, which was of course a big deal back in Dragon Ball when Muten Roshi, aka Master Roshi, tried to take Piccolo Daima, aka King Piccolo, and it was brought back in Dragon Ball Super, of course, when they forgot about trying to use it against Zamasu, aka also Goku Black. And so they end up going ahead and it forms all around them, and there you go, Gomah and Degasu, total, like I said, based on the Mafuba, goes right into this jar, and they are sealed, and that's all she wrote for them. And they said it's snug in there, but it's pretty nice, isn't it? And Goku's trying to look at it. He's retrieved his power pole, of course, and he's like, it has a small garden and all sorts of games for them, and they're like, you can hear them just rambling, not enjoying that they have to spend the next 99 years here. And so there you see Dr. Arensu completely happy about this, says Gomah and Degasu are out of the picture and stuff. I didn't know they had that type of pull, honestly. Marba and Degasu, they can decide punishment and send who to jail or whatever, so they lock them all up in there. And so from here, the question is asked, who will be the next Supreme Demon King? And it's right here. Nadare suggests his sister. Why don't you take on the role? She mentions that she's higher ranking than all their rivals. And it's from here, basically, she says, because Nadare mentions that that's what she wanted. And she's like, huh. She says, I didn't expect that from you. And he says, I realize that you retain a silver of conscience. and she goes like, what a disgusting thing to say. And you could tell, like I said, from their moment interaction, you could tell that Nahare obviously has a much better relationship with his sister than he did with his brother. Apparently she looked like she wasn't too fond of their brother either, Degetsu and stuff. And she's like, let me be clear. And this totally reminds me of what Frieza, aka Frieza, said at the end of Dragon Ball Super when they gave him his life back. She says, my ambitions hasn't changed one bit, and says a terrifying demon world that rivals the outside world. And it's from there, she says she refused, though, and says if she became the Supreme Demon King, gaining magic powers from the Dragon Balls, she'll end up getting overthrown by someone else. We got somebody in the chat here. Oh yeah, Matthew says Demon King Majin Ku, and average CAI user says hello, hello monkey. Right, the classic line from Frieza and all that stuff. I was so funny in Dragon Ball Super when he came down from the Dragon Balls and he basically tells all the Saiyajins, he's like, ho, hello monkeys. Well boy, if Frieza would have ever fought SS4 Goku, just imagine the monkey references you would have got on there. And then from there, he said, yeah, she says she just ended up getting overthrown, and that's where Neva says, that's it. The one who defeats the Supreme Demon King is the first in line to succeed them. And they're like, huh? And everybody's like, huh? And they're looking at each other. And then I love how everybody flips over to Majin Ku and it said, the one who defeats the Supreme Demon King? And Ku's like, oh, me? And they're like, oh. And he's like, I see, it's me. And he's like, okay, I'll do it. I'll be the Supreme Demon King. And so he ends up forming this cape on the back, and there you go. This is cool, actually. If you follow, those of you out there that follow Geekdom 101, one of the most well-researched and knowledgeable Dragon Ball fans out there, he actually had, when he was doing his leaks and everything, this is one of the leaks that he showed that the Majin Ku character would have this cape. So man, that really shows like, oh wow, that was right towards the end and everything there. And so they're like, he's the new Supreme Demon King? Like, just a shocked look on everyone's faces. They're like, what? And from here you get to see Dr. Arensu's like, do you even understand what you're taking, the responsibility that you're taking on? And he's like, of course I do. And then he goes like, Arensu-sama, I choose you to be my Vice Supreme Demon King. Let me take a sip of break here for the water, a sip of water for break. All right, so he's chosen Arensu as his vice president. She's like, oh, what? And he's like, he's a much better judge of character than what she is. And she says, and she's like, you were very ambitious, but have a heart. But at heart, you're not all bad, which is kind of what I figured with Dr. Arensu, that she's probably not going to be a villain. She just kind of seems mysterious and everything. It's just like her brother seemed very mysterious and potentially evil in the beginning of the 25th Tenkaichi Budokai, but of course he ended up being a good guy. Though Dr. Arensu still, though, has some pretty bad ambitions, like wanting to make the demon realm a terrifying place. So I'm not sure how all that really works there, but I guess in the end, yeah, she's not really that bad of a woman, is she? She's got heart there, right? She mentions, and Dr. Majin Ku goes on to mention how she has brains. She has brains and she can plan out powerful weapons, and more importantly, he's like, you made me. And you have Majin just flying and chasing this butterfly in the background, and Majin ends up becoming a minister, and Marba and Neva are chosen too as well, and they're shocked that they're getting this such high power. And he's like, you have knowledge and skill and magic power, and you know about the demon realm. So I mean, Majin Ku, for having been born just recently, I mean, he definitely has quite the brain on him, and smart, and thinking all this this out and everything, and he points toward Glorio, says you can be a minister too. So it's cool because Glorio was rescued from Dr. Arensu from the third demon realm, and now he's going to be put in the highest position possible in the first demon realm. So I thought it was a really cool story for him. He's like, for Majin, you have real qualities and good judgment of heart, and he says King Caden will be the minister too and stuff like this. So man, that's just like incredible from there. And he's like, me and stuff like that, man. And I love how you see Majin Do just flying off there in the background and stuff like that. And he's mentioning how, you know, you have courage to come to fight for the demon realm and stuff like that, and it makes it worthy. And he's like, but I'm a Majin from the third demon realm. And he's like, I've never heard of anything like that. And he's like, then you are the first minister from the third demon realm. So man, that's that's pretty cool. Like, I love how King Caden's just, you know, his stock has risen. That's what Majin Ku's doing for these guys, just making their lives a lot better. And so you see Pansy, you know, she's just excited as ever for her father, and you know, he's really been moved up and stuff like that. And Majin Ku lets them know, he's like, you people from the outside world, you know, you've done amazing, and says, is anyone here wants to be a minister? And Goku, I love how he raises his hand basically like he's got a question to say, but he goes like, no, we're going home. Perfect, just absolute perfect way for Son Goku to absolutely respond. So that was really awesome. I'm absolutely loving how he was able to do that for this. So I thought that was fantastic. And so it's from here that we get Goku, he still smiles. He says, okay then, anyone else want to be a minister? And you got Hibiscus or Hibis, and he's like, yes me. Hibis was just one of the funniest characters, I would say, through this entire series for Dragon Ball's Daima. Really absolutely loved him as a character. He was definitely funny. He was a great background character that kept the comedy going. So I'm gonna miss a lot of these new characters, honestly. And so he's like, well then, that concludes my perfect assignments. And so everyone's got their fists in the air and their hands in the air, praising the new Super Demon King Majin Ku. And there you go, you got everybody in the back. I'm not sure how the Zandamari guys fit in this, because I'm like, hey, what they did earlier, some of those guys, what they were doing earlier when they were taking that poor guy, when they were taking that poor guy and putting the whatever that suction tank thing was on his neck, and taking what was little left of his whole thing like that, like, man, that was crazy, and stuff like that, in terms of why they were doing that, with taking his life. So I'm like, man, they got to do something better for that and stuff. In the comments we got Blitz Drake says, so Daima era Goku went to hell, fought demons, turned into a monkey only to lose to base Kaba. I'm not sure where that scenario would come from, but it sounds pretty wild. Thanks for joining the chat. So yeah, and even these little blue characters in the background that look like, what is that called? I'm trying to think. What is that called? Man, what is that called? It was called the well, I'm trying to think, what was it called? Like the Grand Priest and stuff like that. Like, I think it was like the Grand Priest. Man, that was something that was really incredible there. So I think that they may be the origins of the Grand Priest, but that was not explained. Got a bit to talk about as far as what's not explained and stuff like that. So Neva's like, wait a minute, hold on a moment. Said he might be actually really good at this job and stuff like that. So there you go. You got Majin Ku going on, basically says, let's work together to make the demon world a scary yet good place to live, Dr. Arensu. And she's like, right. And so there you go. It's like inauguration or something right there. You got Arensu and Majin Ku flying all over the place, and if everybody gives them high praise. And Ku, you know, he's been quite the politician here, like, yeah, you know. Reminds me of like Mr. Satan all the time when he's like, yeah, the champ, yeah. you know, and everything, trying to make sure he looks good and stuff for the cameras and everything. So you have Piccolo there. The new Supreme Demon King is King Ku, and he says, "No objections here." So I thought that was pretty cool. As you see in the water flowing out of Demon World 2, and we go through the tunnel from Demon Realm 2 into the third Demon Realm back at the castle. All right, I would take a little break here for water. All right, in chat, Blitz Drake says Vegeta is such a leech. Got SSJ without watching a friend die, SSJ3 without going to the other world, and now wants SSJ4. Like, get a job, dude, and stop copying Goku. Vegeta's always one step behind, but he's gotta keep up with Goku to keep up with his power and all that stuff. He also says Ku as Demon King means we'll never get a new adventure there, as he's a good dude. I'm hoping there's still definitely a lot left for more adventures in the Demon Realm, so hopefully we get to see it. And then Matthew says, sadly, I need to get to bed. I'll catch the rest of the review. Keep up the good work, son. Hey, Matthew, thanks for joining. I know you enjoyed quite a few of these all throughout episode, all 20 of these over the last 4 to 5 months I was doing it. So yeah, thank you definitely much. I really appreciate it. You have a good one. And then, yes, as we get towards the end of the episode here, you have Gomah being given that Majin light that was promised to her in earlier episodes of Dragon Ball DAIMA. And there you see, she's got all this, and she's got a ton of it. And once again, I just wonder if this is going to come into play very much so when we get to Dragon Ball, whenever Dragon Ball Super comes back and everything. I would love to see that happening. And so from there, she's like, I didn't even need that much, but she's like, he stole that. She took it from Gomah's palace and stuff. So they beat Gomah and stole his riches and all that stuff, and they just started laughing at that. And then there you go, chocolate chip cookies and everything, all for Majin Ku and Do and stuff like that. Oh no, they were getting them. They were like telling them, you eat all this and stuff on the way to the ride, and says, giving them some treats. And there you see they start boarding on with it, and yeah, they start boarding the plane, and oh boy, this is where we get to perhaps the most controversial part of this episode. So Vegeta and Goku are talking, and he's like, blast it, I still say I could have won. And Goku's like, you're still on that? I get it already. He says, I get it already. And he goes like, you mean Super Saiyan? And he's like, you mean Super Saiyan 4? And he's like, Boo was really strong, so I trained a lot after fighting him. And he goes like, I wasn't sure if it would work though. And he's like, it's like a bargain sale of Super Saiyans. So that's really cool, basically the old classic line, because when it was Trunks who transformed into a Super Saiyan for the first time, and Vegeta was like, it's like a Super Saiyan bargain sale and stuff like that. So yeah, and Goku goes like, but you turned Super Saiyan 3 too. And he's like, shut up, that transformation was and he's like, it's Ultra Vegeta 1. And Goku's like, what the heck is that? Oh man. Ultra yeah, we get Ultra Vegeta 1. And yeah, so this is where I'm gonna have to say, when we look at this scene here and stuff like that, from a continuity standpoint, all right, so like most of you with this, when I heard that Dragon Ball, that I heard basically that this whole scene was, or Dragon Ball Daima was going to be about a year and a half or so after after the Majin Buu saga, but like about 3 or 4 years before Battle of Gods. I'm like, okay, a lot of this is going to tie in Dragon Ball into Dragon Ball Super. And obviously there was a lot of things that were planted through here that tied very much into Dragon Ball Super. We saw where Bluma, aka Bulma, where she ended up going on to get her whole like, where she ended up getting, like, you know, wanting to look more younger and everything. We saw that here in Dragon Ball Daima. That really explains very nicely what happened there in Dragon Ball Dragon Ball Super for her to be like that. And we saw more lore regarding like Zeno when they were talking about the Raimas and everything. Just so much more that we learned that really ties nicely into where things are going in Super. You see even Vegeta and Bulma's relationship. But here, this scene doesn't really fall very well into Dragon Ball Super because I mean, as mentioned before, with Vegeta in SS3, we saw how exhausted he was, and perhaps he didn't want to use that in Dragon Ball Super and stuff like that. And then you get to where Goku mentions, I think, was it right here? He was saying he calls it Super Saiyan 4, aka Super Saiyan 4 officially, and he says that he had been training really hard since his fight with Majin Buu. With that said in mind, if you go to Battle of Gods, he specifically states to Beerus that SS3 is his most powerful form. So you're probably wondering, well, why the heck didn't he bring SS4 out? So it does make things very confusing the way they choose to word things here. And I guess there was some confusion as well, saying he wasn't sure if he was able to pull it off or not. So we get confirmation that Goku, in the year and a half after he fought Kid Buu, he had been working on SS4, and he had been trying to get close to it, but he just couldn't quite reach it. And then it's Neva, through his power, from what we can see visually, Neva was able to unleash the SS4 and awaken it within Son Goku, allowing him to go SS4 for the first time. So got him really close to what he was looking for in terms of that power. Quite a different contrast from what we assume. We assume that, a lot of us assume that, okay, Neva brought out some sort of mutation with his magic that was going to allow Goku to only use this form in the demon realm, which would perfectly explain why in Battle of Gods he didn't use it. So we don't get that. Here, what I would have preferred to have seen and what I would have liked is maybe for their interaction, it would have been nice to see Goku basically be like, I think I'll call that Super Saiyan 4, but as it turns out, I'm only able to use it here in the demon realm because of Neva's powers. That's the only reason why I can do the form, so it's nothing I'll be able to do on my own, unfortunately. And Vegeta, he's talking about, oh, I thought you hid it away from me. He's like, well, at least you went Super Saiyan 3, and then Vegeta could have gone back, speaking of Super Saiyan 3, I'm never using that form again. It uses way too much energy. It's exhausting. I'll find a way to make my Super Saiyan 2 more stronger. Just you wait and see, Kakarot. Which would perfectly then lead right into Battle of Gods. So now we know why Goku's only using SS3, and we see there spelled out for us right there on screen, Vegeta stating he doesn't want to use this form. It uses way too much energy. So that would have definitely perfectly been very well. That being said, that's not how they did it, and as a result, what I'm going to say here in terms of continuity is I just accept Dragon Ball DAIMA as its own continuity. Just the way they ended, there's just no way to really put it in there. Compared to Dragon Ball, there's no way, from what they state here, there's just no way to really tie it in with Dragon Ball Super, at least this moment. And honestly, I think the series is a lot more enjoyable for that. And I'm not one of these people who go in to be like talking about, oh, well, this is canon, so it's good. That's not canon, so it's good. I don't care. I just want to watch Dragon Ball. And if the series is good, whether it was made by Toriyama or not, as long as it's enjoyable, that's basically what I tend to enjoy. And the way this kind of comes off to me, and this is what I'm going to say because it was never stated officially, Akira Yoku, who was Toriyama's right-hand man, the thing about it is, from what he said, he did state that the idea with Dragon Ball DAIMA is that it is a complete it was a sequel to the Majin Buu saga, and a lot of people are trying to, I guess, spin his interview and say, so therefore it doesn't go into Dragon Ball Super's continuity, but they never stated that it doesn't go into Dragon Ball Super's continuity, and unfortunately I wish they would have worded things better. So as far as I'm going to go in terms of the continuity here, until Akira Yoku or Toyotaro, the creators of Dragon Ball, until they come out and say elsewise, or they end up revealing notes that were left behind by Toriyama, if he left any notes behind. Until anything is officially stated by this, I have no choice but to see Dragon Ball DAIMA as an alternative continuity to the end of Dragon Ball Z in terms of the Majin Buu arc, which is very interesting, because if we do take Dragon Ball Super and throw it to the side, this really, and you could tell Toriyama really went back and made sure to link everything up with the Majin Buu saga very nicely within the continuity of Dragon Ball DAIMA. And it really, in DAIMA, does not contradict what goes on at the end of Dragon Ball Z / the end of the manga, because we're told there's 10 years of peace. Well, technically, this being about a year after they defeat Kid Buu, the Earth was never in danger. Gomah only just turned them into kids. He was trying to prevent them from endangering his version of what he wanted to make the Demon Realm. So there's nothing in DAIMA that contradicts that. Yeah, they very much could have gone 10 years of peace after this. Bluma, aka Boma, one of the most talked about ones in Dragon Ball Super, how at the end of Z / the end of the manga, she says she hadn't seen Son Goku in 5 years. Well, clearly that's not the case in Dragon Ball Super's continuity. However, when we look at it from Dragon Ball DAIMA's continuity, yeah, being that this is still like 9 years before the end of where Goku fights Oob, yeah, maybe it was 5 years before she saw Son Goku. And hey, there was no reason for Goku in that fight with Oob to go SS4, and it's very plausible that, yeah, sure, Goku and Vegeta would be training all that time. Of course, Vegeta would probably reach SS3. Of course, I'm thinking Goku would have mastered SS3 along with Vegeta. And of course, SS4 is something that maybe they could have achieved. So when you look at those type of things, like, yeah, you could really watch the end of the Majin Buu saga, and then watch Dragon Ball DAIMA, and then watch the last 3 episodes of Dragon Ball Z, or last couple episodes of Dragon Ball Kai, and or just read the last chapters of the manga, and everything perfectly smooths together. There are no continuity issues, and that's why I was saying Dragon Ball DAIMA feels like its own continuity with that. And that's why I said, if you look at it from that standpoint, I think this is so much more enjoyable as an alternative continuity. Now, I doubt they would want Toriyama getting involved on something and stuff like that, but man, that's something that they did. I wish they would have done something a little bit more better with that in terms of making it blend in with Super, but it is what it is. Dragon Ball DAIMA. I just think they have their different continuities, and I'll say this, by the way. I'll get to the comment section. I am very much live. I'll be reading the comments shortly. I'll say this: when it comes to Dragon Ball DAIMA, and when it comes to continuity in Dragon Ball, this is the way I view it. You have the original manga that Akira Toriyama made. That is the source of where everything in Dragon Ball comes from. So there's that continuity. Then you have the Dragon Ball anime continuity and the Dragon Ball Z anime continuity, which definitely does faithfully link up very nicely with the original manga. It faithfully retells the manga's events, but it has its own filler and filler scenes, as they call it. And Toriyama did get involved with some of those productions in certain episodes. He even included Bardock, the father of Goku, and stuff like that into his manga, and then retconned it for his other version that we see later on in Minus, and then it's brought into Broly. So you have those different ones. So I feel like the anime Dragon Ball and the anime Z, they have their own continuity. Then you have Dragon Ball GT, which is its own continuity in a sequel to Dragon Ball Z. And then from there, we go into the movies, which have their own different continuities. And then you have Dragon Ball Super, which is like another alternative continuity to the Dragon Ball manga and Z stories. And they have their own series. And you have 3 different continuity versions of that, whether it be the movies of Battle Gods and Resurrection F. And then you also have the manga retellings and in the anime. And then when we get into Dragon Ball Super, there are 2 continuities with that in terms of the anime, in terms of the manga. And then you have Dragon Ball DAIMA here, which tells its own continuity, apparently, as it kind of just pretty much forgets Super within this scene with Goku and Vegeta. And so I go from there to say that, you know, if you just don't get so caught up into the whole continuity, and you just kind of see that these are like different continuities and stories, and some are alternative stories, some will loosely follow follow, others won't. I think it'll be okay, honestly. It'll be so much more enjoyable. And this scene is the reason why I am telling a lot of my friends who are waiting on for the English dub to finish so they can binge watch it. I told them, I'm like, go into Dragon Ball DAIMA and seeing it as an alternative continuity and to compare to Dragon Ball Super, and you will enjoy it so much more. And I think that's a good approach to take for continuity for a lot of people. Yeah, just don't get too caught up in the continuity of Dragon Ball Super. I know us fans want to really feel it in terms of seeing, okay, this happened here, and so now it goes ahead and has consequences here. But unfortunately, from what I hear, they might not feel the same way in Japan, apparently. Shout out to Geeta 101, who always says there is no canon in Dragon Ball and stuff like that. And that's why he says it, because there's just too many different continuities. But if you enjoy Dragon Ball for what it is, there you go. So that's my take on it, and this is the reason why I'm not mad at this and everything. I just kind of took it as, okay, Dragon Ball DAIMA is its own alternate continuity until the creators themselves or those who were involved with Toriyama come out and state otherwise. I'll just take this as its own separate continuity. Getting to the chat here, we had quite a few chats, so let me read through here what was said. Let's see. Blitz Drake says, Goku really said, what are those? Pretty much. Blitz Drake also says, Pansy greater than Gotenks. You like Pansy better than Gotenks as a character? Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, Gotenks is really awesome as a fighter, but Pansy does have quite a fun personality and turned out to be more useful than Gotenks was in the Buu saga for sure. Also, he says, demons live for millions of years, but Degasu and Gomah were only trapped for 99 years, so they'll box with Goku and Vegeta Jr. pretty much. Let's see what else. He says, Daima isn't canon. It even disagrees with the Z manga, as Degasu tells Shin it's been 1,000 years since he left, but in Z manga, he was a Kai millions of years ago when Buu attacked. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I see it as an alternative continuity there. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of gotta separate them and everything from it. And it says, but how wouldn't it be at least a reference? Yeah, there was definitely a lot of references for sure throughout the series that you saw they put into Dragon Ball DAIMA, and I hope that a lot of this gets referenced later in future projects if Toyotaro continues Dragon Ball Super. Also, Battle of Gods is a Z movie, not a Super movie, so it's more canon than Daima, as it's entirely written by Toriyama alone. Yeah, that's what goes back to what I was saying, multiple continuities within Battle of Gods. You have the Dragon Ball Z movie version of Battle of Gods, then you have the Dragon Ball Super anime version of Battle of Gods, and then the Dragon Ball Super version of the manga. And honestly, if you see it as that way, all three will be hopefully much more enjoyable, though honestly I thought the movie was better because it's straight to the point. And everything. Buffs, thanks for joining chat, says the worst case scenario, if not, we get a Beerus versus Goku again and he suddenly remembers I'm praying. It's not canon. The worst case scenario, if now Beerus versus Goku again and he just suddenly remembers. Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna change on that and stuff like that. Buff says agreed. I must be on how it's talking about with the continuity and everything too here. Here, I'll bring up the chat so you all can see while I'm reading along here. And stuff like that. Actually, no, I'll keep reading on here because I'll bring up those later on. But let's see what says Lord Goku says, I have not watched it and yet. Oh, well, I hope you do enjoy it once you do. Blitz Drake says, Bulma was his childhood friend. Why wouldn't she visit Goku or Chi-Chi in 5 years, especially when Goten and Trunks are best of friends? Never made any sense. I'm guessing for the same reason that it was 5 years they didn't see each other from when Goku and Chi-Chi got married. They have that when the manga does the time skip, there's a 5-year time skip. I'm guessing for that same reason. But yeah, you would think with their kids and stuff basically being best of friends, they would probably see each other more often. Well, hey, maybe Goten sees Trunks a lot. He just Goku doesn't come by and visit and stuff like that. Blitztrazo says only canon continuity is the BoJack movie as it has the best design for Trunks. Yes, I love that design for Trunks. Absolutely, I love that design for Trunks. That's awesome. I do love that design. BoJack actually, yeah, does out of probably any other movie, it does fit very well. You can definitely see that fitting very well into after they defeated Cell within that 7-year time skip and stuff. Buff says he meant SS4. Let's see, and all that stuff and everything. So yeah, let's get back to the finishing the story here, and things like that. So yeah, I mean, that, like I said, that's how I'm taking it all with the continuity. So we end up getting Dente and Piccolo here with Neva, and you're asking if you're going to consider living here, and said how comfortable it is. And Dente's like, yeah, you know, I gotta take care of the earth. And Piccolo's like, yeah, me too, pretty much. Honestly, I think the Nameks probably live very boring lives. Have you guys? I mean, Namek looks like a beautiful place to visit and get some sightseeing, but what do you do? Oh, we just plant flowers and drink water and run around and play and fly from island to island. That's about it. Yeah. Nice place to visit, but not where I would want to stay. Clearly, Dende and Piccolo are loving that earthling living. Because they'll say they're going to ask other Namekians who lost on planet Namek and have been reduced to normals. Normals and stuff like that, says I'm sure they'll welcome the idea. And he's like, oh, I see, yeah, what a wonderful idea. So I don't know if the Namekians are going to come over for that and stuff like that and things of that nature. And so from there, we end up getting Pansy, who's basically like, you're ready to go, Goku? And so they're all ready. They're taking one last look at the demon realm. They also mentioned that since the tunnel's been open and pushing, it took all that gas out and the air is lighter and stuff. As we remember, that was the thing, that the third demon realm was really hard to navigate and everything. So they really have, as you look at it, they just made life so much better. I'm guessing people are able, yeah, they're now able to freely travel between the demon realms. So they just, as King Caden said, they made it a much better place and everything. And you could say, you know, that's the story. Goku always making it better for everybody eventually and stuff like that. And they're like, let's go home and everything. And so Gomah's in the ship, and Glorio's in the ship, and we don't have to worry about Glorio now trying to break down things and stuff like that. So that's good, because they kept using that trope all over through all of Daima, as he was intentionally trying to hold them back longer. And so we see the ship goes up there, and you see Goku, he's waving back all at him, and everyone's waving stuff, happy to see him. And he says, if things get hairy, come save us. So gonna rely on Son Goku, and Goku's like, sure, you got it. And as the ship takes off and everyone's waving back, we get one of the best scenes right here. I love it. He still has that hat, by the way. And hey, Neva didn't turn out to be such a bad guy after all, because I was thinking he was evil in the beginning, but he wasn't, thankfully. And as everyone says goodbye, you get Pansy in the back, and she's just like yanking on Vegeta's arm, and Vegeta's like, I'm so tired of this place, let's just get going. Like, he's had enough of the demon realm. So man, that was interesting and stuff like that. And so we get the scene as everybody flies back, and Goku's like, yeah, see ya. And they all end up flying off into the distance. And there you go. It ends right there saying Akira Toriyama, original work, story and character designs by Akira Toriyama. Rest in peace to the late great Akira Toriyama. And I really love these ending shots we get here in the credit rolls and stuff like that. In the chat, Grand Zeno is God from Chiki Zeo. Grand Zeno, yeah, pretty much. He is the god of all gods in Dragon Ball for sure. Buff says, hard Glorio fan here. The lighting episode should have been more explored. Yeah, I love all these new characters. Definitely. All these these new characters were just absolutely great. Vegeta is a freak, daily baths Gomah. What a gooner. Hey, nothing wrong. The man, like I said in the previous episode, the man enjoys his wife, and ain't nothing wrong with that. So we see what becomes of everybody here. Looks like Tamagami 3 is getting served something to eat, because I mean, like, yeah, what is he guarding there? I don't know if the Dragon Ball is back there. We're seeing Tamagami 2 is flying with the Karakens and stuff. Tamagami 1, basically, I don't know, has he been in charge of the Zandamarri now? And you see Muten Roshi, aka Master Roshi. He is completely looking at himself right there. Completely looking at himself right there, that he's been brought back to being an old geezer now. He thought he was gonna get all the ladies. Like I said, boy, sit down. You're a little kid. You ain't getting nothing. You even see the Ox King back there, Chi-Chi's father, back to normal. And then you see everybody. So I'm guessing, because Dragon Ball DAIMA took place over the course of a week, everybody just stayed chilling at Bluma's house. So there you see Kudin's got his, aka Krillin, he's got his hair back. Marin's back to being a little girl again after being reduced to a baby. You see Lazui, aka Juhachiko slash Android 18. She's back to normal. Mr. Saiden, B, poor Yamucha back. Didn't Yamucha get longer hair? So I guess he lost his long locks. They never really explained that. We got Fat Boo. By the way, I love that Fat Boo's tongue is blue, just like in the manga, so that's really cool. They stay true. You got Chi-Chi here, who they don't have a dishwasher, so she's washing manually her dishes. I like that she had the little step ladder there, and then she's like, oh snap, now I need to get down from this. So that was really cool. It's so weird still seeing Mr. Popo without his turban and everything, and there's Kibito and stuff like that from there. And from here we end up getting Goten and Trunks. I know some people were making talk about they can fly, yet they enjoy riding on skateboard, so I guess it is what it is. Man, alrighty. And then we get, there's Degasu and Degasu right there, and Gomah still in that jar, and we get to see what the inside looks like. And yeah, he is bored out of their mind. This is what their life is going to be like for the next 99 years. I love that they're playing video games. Like, I mean, ain't so bad. They gave him a little bit of a break in there, hooked him up with some TV and some games. This is totally from I think Toriyama did a cool illustration where Goku and Vegeta was playing Nintendo and stuff like that, so that was cool to see. And we end up having where they fly off here and stuff like that, chewing in on, you got what's her name, Pansy chewing on some of those potato chips. I guess the Zandamarri guys got it. And you have Goku say, Minister Glorio, and he's like, what? And he's like, let's go ahead and get some of those meta bugs again. We need to stop by because we're all out of sensu beans and stuff like that. And Glorio's like, yeah, I suppose. And like I said, things that do sync up with Dragon Ball Super when it comes to Daima is we see Bluma, aka Boma now, she sees how she looks basically in the mirror and realizes, oh, okay, now she doesn't have that youthful skin anymore, and this is most likely what created her obsession, and she closes her mirror down. Before we get to this ending scene, which was greatly animated, I'm gonna take a break here. All right, let's check out some of the chats and see what we got here. Blitz Drake, we see the other universes, Kai's and Daima, same designs as in Super. Yeah, I like the Kai designs, honestly. They're really cool. I really enjoyed it, going back to that flashback of how Kid Buu ended up becoming the big muscle Buu and stuff like that, and everything. It's why I was so disappointed with Degasu. He had a cool design and a less cooler story. At least Dr. Arensu turned out to be a really cool character. Let's see, Blitz also says says really liked Daima as an adventure side story, but I just don't feel it fits in the canon story if we get if we get canon story that branches from this world. Yeah, that ending scene with Goku and Vegeta, they made it really hard to make it fit in terms of make it hard fit within like I said, Dragon Ball Super and stuff like that. And I know you brought up some examples in the manga and everything. So like I said, Dragon Ball Daima is like an alternative story, side story or something like that. I think fits really well until they come out and link all this stuff up together. If they ever do, we don't know if they ever will. He also say Piccolo, here says, Piccolo is made of Piccolo Jr., Kami, and Nell, all three shown speaking Namekian in the manga, yet I'm supposed to accept he forgot his language in Daima. Hate to see a brother deny his roots at SonGoshuaku. Yeah, yeah, he was talking Namekian in the 23rd Tenkaichi Budokai, and it's like, yeah, you know, he was speaking it that far, and he said he said he forgot. Yet, how far back does his roots go? Even further than Kami? Like, come on. But you know what? That's in line. Toriyama, God bless his soul, he tend to forget a lot of stuff, and he probably made his character forget as well, and everything. Fraud Han didn't appear as he knew he'd get boxed by Tamagami 3. Fraud Han. So you are not a Gohan fan. Man, if you check out some of my other content on here, my guy Linux cannot stand Gohan, so I think y'all would get along really well. I would have loved to seen, as a Gohan fan, I would have loved to seen Gohan in this series, but man, they did not even show him one bit. Didn't even show us one little image of maybe him and Videl being like shocked, like, oh, we're back. Like, wow, like it's like he was completely forgotten about here. Almost. Sorry, I didn't mean to spam there. No, you're good. I appreciate you keeping up the engagement in the chat. Degasu pulled a Glock to fight post-Boo arc. Nah, get this red ribbon army. Villain out of here. Yeah, pretty much. Oh my gosh, yeah, I remember that. Gohan's only legit solo W is getting Videl. I always said he's winning and stuff. I did like his fight, obviously, with the Cell and SS2 mode and him beating up Super Boo, but then he just didn't learn his lesson. Gohan never learns his lesson when he gets the power, unfortunately. At least in Beast mode, he took care of business with Dragon Ball Super. But yeah, dude, you shoot, my boy Linux would like you. You were talking his language, man. He can't stand Gohan, even going back to when he was 9 years old at SS2. So I want to give huge shout out right here. So this ending animated scene right here, let me get it up here in my notes. What do we got here? In my notes here, we got, who was it? So the ending animation for this, for Dragon Ball Daima's post-credit scene here, was handled by Takashi Kojima. Man, this is some of the most fluent animation there's ever been in Dragon Ball. So they go back to the shop here, and you see Ku and Do right there. Overall, they are basically in the newspapers everywhere, and the lady's like, "Oh, welcome," and they walk in. Just the shading and the fluent animation was just absolutely on point here. And Goku's like, "Hey, lady," being inappropriate as always, you know, and not like Miss. She's like, "Hey, lady, you lady," and she's like, and she's like, "Oh, it's you and you." And she's like, "Wait, aren't you the kids from the other day? The mega bug that got the meta bugs the other day?" And Goku's like, "Yeah, they really helped us a lot." And she says, "You've really grown." He says, "Was it a side effect?" I loved it. That was great. She's thinking like, "Oh, dude, these kids, they really blown up." Give a whole meaning that they grew up so fast, right? And so I love right here, Goku, they're picking up more of these bugs, and he's got the lizard and all that stuff. And he's like, "No, that's not it at all." And so Bloom was like, "So pretty." And then she sees that it's a bug, and it starts moving or something, I think. And like I said, the animation was so fluent right here. She's looking and she's like, oh, it's disgusting. And then she starts freaking out. And just look at these shots. Look at how fluent the animation is, like from the clothes moving, the hair. She just gets completely flustered, throws it, and it goes back into the jar there. And the way she just starts like creeping away and stuff, like, man, that was really cool animation. And so she's like, yeah, these meta bugs, they definitely work. And she's like, this one, you know, is good for burns, and this one's good for skin, and they're beauty bugs, I think she calls them. And Bloom was like, wait a minute, what did you say? She's like, yeah, they're beauty bugs. They de-age you by 10 years. And she's like, what? Look at just look how lit up she is. She doesn't care if they're disgusting and stuff like that anymore. And she's like, oh, like I said, the animation was crazy good, very fluent here. It just really Looney Tune cartoony, like she's like, oh. Oh my gosh. And she's just lit up, and she's like, oh, right here she jumps down and she's like, I'll take them all and stuff. So like I said, this is one thing that does lead into a lot where we are getting with Super and everything. And so you get here, Pansy, she finds something. She's like, huh, and she's looking over. And from here, she's like, what is this? So she goes to investigate, and Goku's even like, huh? Oh, yeah, what you got there? And so she blows the dust off, and from here, she looks in, and she's like, lady, are these? And we see it. She's like, are these the Turgid Oculus, aka the evil third eye? And there's two of them. And Goku's like, what? And from there, even Bluma, she's trying to, you know, pay for this. She's like, it couldn't be. And so the lady, she ends up explaining how that you put it on your forehead and it gives you tremendous strength. And Bluma, aka Bulma, she's got to run over there too. And she's like, I had 3 of them, but someone came by who was really suspicious a long time, decided to buy one. So apparently this is where Abura, aka Dabura, aka Deborah's father, ended up got it before right here at this store, and said they're extremely pricey, and she only managed to sell one a long time ago. And she says, if you want one, I'll give it to you for a discount. So the eye moves towards there, looks right at them, and they're like, ah, because they do not want to go through that again to face that third eye. I mean, look how it can take the weakest person and turn them into an unstoppable person that keeps getting more and more power. And from there, we get the end. And that's where it all ends. And, yeah, you know, they got us good with those fusion bugs, because they did not utilize those fusion bugs. Because I figured, okay, maybe we're not going to get a fusion of Goku and Vegeta, but at the very least, they're probably going to make it a gag where, hey, maybe East Kaishin's going to eat the bug, and he forgets that it's a fusion bug, and he's like, here, you want some, Kibito? And Kibito would eat it, and it would fuse them back into their Protaro earring fusion, Kibito Shin, just because it's from the demon realm. And from there, they're going to try and get absorbed by Fat Boo, and Fat Boo can't dissolve them, and thus lining up with Super. That's why they had to get the Dragon Balls to split them. But no, they stayed split. They didn't show us, and they don't mention anything. So once again, like I said, with Dragon Ball Daima, gotta take it as its own continuity, because oh man, you just got to. Let me go through some of the chat messages right here. Go Blitz Drake says Gohan's only legit solo, yeah, you said, was getting Videl. Even in Superhero, he was carried by Piccolo. Well, yeah, it was meant. Kiyoyoku mentioned that Toriyama totally meant it to be a Piccolo film, but he saw how popular Gohan was among the fan base, and so he convinced Toriyama to go ahead and put it in there. I actually talk more about that in an upcoming Dragon Ball superhero review that we recorded last year. I'm gonna be, once I get around to editing it, I'll actually go more in depth about it there. Dabura the fraud could have brought these two instead and of betraying his dad. I don't know how many people knew it was there. That was something interesting there. Blitzdrake says, serious question. Why was my boy Gomah jailed? Degasu kidnapped Dende, not him. Adensu said to make everyone kids, not him. Goku invaded his castle. He was defending himself. Well, he treated a lot of the people like dirt in the demon realm. So I mean, like that poor old guy in the beginning, if you didn't have enough, like he treated the poor terribly. But like I said, for me, I'm more so, how did Arensu and Marba have the authority to do that? I like yeah. Oh man, that was something interesting. Yeah, that by the way, that ending there, total Toriyama, the way he would do that. This was interesting. This was played up as either a gag, or maybe Toriyama, before his untimely passing, maybe he actually meant this to be something that could come back later on in the series. Like, I almost wonder what happened with these third eyes. Is it going to be picked up by Toyotaro, where you could totally take these and use it for a future villain in the series? Imagine Black Frieza, for those of you that are following the manga, the Dragon Ball Super manga, if they bring that back. So it's interesting where this could have gone, but like I said, we don't know unless Toriyama left behind notes and everything and stuff like that. He also, Blitz says in the chat, it's the demon realm being mean isn't a crime. Demon realm being mean. Yeah, I mean, they definitely got some. I mean, even Dr. Arensu's kind of is a shady character, but yet she gets to freely go about her business there, isn't she? Oh man. So all right, I'm gonna just talk to you guys now that the recaps are over here. In terms of Dragon Ball DAIMA, overall, what did I think about it as a series? I thought it was fun. I enjoyed it. It truly felt like Toriyama. It had everything. I think if you're a fan of all aspects of Dragon Ball and you're a fan of Toriyama Akira's work, this series had it all. It had the gags, it had the comedy, it had the adventure, it had the epic fighting, the epic transformation moments. It truly felt like everything that makes Dragon Ball what it is, it was put in here. And you had so many references to the entire Dragon Ball franchise, the 40th anniversary special. So I really enjoyed it. And like I said, I kind of see it as its own continuity, separate from Dragon Ball Super, which makes it more enjoyable. So I'm not thinking about how it ties into Super, and just looking at it as the series itself. If you do try to do the Dragon Ball Super series and try to and turn it into something that does get more confusing, and that's where it can be very frustrating. So that's why I would recommend, don't go into it trying to link it up to Dragon Ball Super until we get notes from Akira Toriyama that he left behind, or Akira Yoku comes out to say something in an interview, or Toyotaro makes something within the continuation of Dragon Ball Super that kind of explains and piece these things together. But on its own, separately, I like Dragon Ball DAIMA definitely, which is ironically what I said about Dragon Ball GT. I don't like it nearly nowhere near as much as Dragon Ball Z, and even to a lower extent Dragon Ball Super. But nonetheless, I do enjoy the series though overall. So I did have a blast with DAIMA. The series though did have, I think, some pacing issues where you only had 20 episodes, and I don't think they utilize all 20 episodes as best as they could. Was it episode 13 where they had the big giants? Though I enjoyed that episode and it was fun, and it definitely had some of that Toriyama adventure to it, and it paid tribute to the scene in GT when they had the giants. When we were coming up close towards the end of the Dragon Ball series, it's kind of like one of those things where does it really sort of makes sense to spend all your time here when we only got so many episodes left to tell the grand final battle. And even when you get to the Demon Round 1, I felt like so much time was wasted on that episode. Was it like 14 and 15 where they're going SS1 and it's taking them forever to basically go through and beat these guys, when you know, okay, you just power up and get it done with and be done right there. We can be getting to the final battle there. So it's like, yeah, like I said, I kind of thought the villains Degasu and Gomah, they weren't that really Degasu, I didn't find I wanted Degasu to be more compelling as a villain, but I don't think he ended up being there. Gomah was hilarious and stuff. I don't think he was a boring villain or anything like that. Especially he was kind of like tribute to Emperor Pilaf mixed with Babidi. But my thing is, I do wish we would have gotten more from Gomah's power before the third eye. Other than that, though, as a villain, he was really stupid, and he was designed to be stupid. But yeah, he's not gonna go down as one of the most iconic villains in the entire franchise, that's for sure. But the fight will be even the big final finale fight. As good as the animation was, I don't think it was on the level of Goku versus Jiren or or Gogeta versus Broly, because those were more big back and forth epic battles. The choreography, I thought it could have been a little bit more. This more felt like Goku at SS4 just going ham, but I thought it was one of the best moments of Goku going all out fighting. Was definitely amazing on that time. But yeah, overall though, I did enjoy Dragon Ball DAIMA. I think it's a much better binge watch. I definitely plan with the English dub, once they're done in May, to go back and watch it in a binge style to see just how much better the whole series is when you're able to watch it one episode after the other and stuff, instead of like 1 week and stuff. So yeah, but overall, I'll definitely do a more full review, hopefully with my friends when they're done watching Dragon Ball DAIMA, so we can get more in-depth thoughts. But just overall final thoughts, I thought Dragon Ball DAIMA was a great show, the best animated series of any Dragon Ball series, and it's fun. I think it's a fun, nice alternative Dragon Ball post Majin Buu story, basically, that's different than Super, and it's enjoyable. Could have been used. I think they could have used their time a little bit better, and that's dependent. Toriyama wrote the story, he did the character designs, and then the animators had to take that. The animators did their thing, but the writers had to take that of the show and try to put it all together. So did they do that effectively based on Toriyama's story? Who knows? I know Toriyama supervised some of the early episodes, but unfortunately the show was still in production when he did pass away. And I think that's the really sad thing about this, is that Toriyama didn't get to see it himself, and he was so involved. He was more involved in this than any other Dragon Ball anime series ever. So it is unfortunate that he didn't get to see it, but I hope his spirit can see that, despite ups and downs, I think for the most part fans did enjoy it. I mean, Dragon Ball DAIMA still was a huge success, and they're going to sell a ton of merchandise for sure on it. So it definitely brought success to the Dragon Ball series, even in 2024/2025. And one thing that it goes, I think Toriyama, writing wise, was the best, going back to the OG stuff, Dragon Ball Z, the manga. That was, I think, hands down like his best work and stuff, especially when he had the editors to push him. But when it comes to the series overall, I was gonna say, when it comes to Daima, his creativity, that's the biggest thing. And this is what I've always said about Toriyama's work, even with there's some plot holes and inconsistencies. The creativity of Toriyama is fantastic, and I think it's one of the reasons why so many people gravitate Dragon Ball, and many fans like myself that are hardcore fans. As much as we love the Dragon Ball series, there are things where we can overlook it just because Toriyama's creativity is just so amazing. Like it's truly amazing, his creativity. And I hope moving forward with Dragon Ball, as Toyotaro, who was his successor now, if he continues Dragon Ball Super, I'm really hoping that Toyotaro is able to really keep the spirit of Toriyama's creativity alive in Dragon Ball moving forward. And we'll see what happens with Dragon Ball moving forward, because they really haven't said anything over the last year and stuff like that. I know in the manga they did like another prequel and stuff like that. So yeah. And I also want to say, before I get to the chat, reading the chat here before we close out the stream is that thank you all so much who have been on this journey of me reviewing the Dragon Ball DAIMA episodes. It took sometimes, especially on these long action episodes, days, a day or two sometimes to get all nearly 1,000 something screenshots together and putting that over all together and stuff like that. But Dragon Ball DAIMA has been a huge success for my YouTube channel. When I started Dragon Ball DAIMA, the first episode review, I was like a little over 5,000, just hitting over 5,000 subscribers, and now I'm almost 7,000 subscribers, and that's from the streams and cutting up the streams and putting them into individual long form videos, and then taking these and putting them into individual YouTube shorts that were like sometimes 50 to 80 something individual shorts. Like, the whole Dragon Ball DAIMA content has really helped grow my channel, and I definitely have more Dragon Ball content to come, because yeah, I love this series, and I want to continue basically showing my respect and to Akira Toriyama's legacy, and sharing that with all of you fellow Dragon Ball fans out there. So let's go over to the chat before we wrap up. I'm going to take another water break. Someone in the chat said I needed my water breaks. Yeah, Blitz said SonGoshuaku taking water breaks to become Water Vegeta. I remember hearing about that meme. Speaking of which, yeah, in addition to thanking you all for watching the Dragon Ball DAIMA content, I will still even have more, not just Dragon Ball content, but more Dragon Ball DAIMA content, like character breakdowns. I'm gonna take a look at and stuff, and like I said, more reviews, so more to talk about that in rankings. All right, so let's head over to the chat. Alrighty, so Blitz, thank you. You've been really awesome engaging in the chat, by the way, all night, going here into midnight. Yeah, really appreciate you sticking around. Let's see what we said here. The ship broke 1,000,000 times. We wasted an entire episode on father soldiers and half an episode on Goku searching for toilets. Yeah, there were certain things where I'm like, you got 20 episodes here. Is this important? Like, I think there was one episode where I called the villains the Big Bird Reject and the Big Smurf that couldn't, and it was like 5 minutes of Goku struggling in base form to catch these guys, and I'm like, okay, why are we spending so much time? And they never came back, and that's the sad thing. Like, even that giant episode, I remember in like episode 13, they spend some time where Neva, he is talking about literally how there are characters who are there were giants that were even bigger than the ones we saw, and they're even more devastating. And I'm like, okay, are they going to come out in the final battle and help? Then that makes it more justified. But you end up dropping all this and nothing ever came from it in Daima. So it's like, yeah. Now granted, maybe Toyotaro will use this in future Dragon Ball projects or in Dragon Ball Super manga if he continues on with that, and hopefully maybe that'll be brought up. So I mean, that's the nice thing, is Dragon Ball DAIMA did open the possibility for a lot there. And yeah, they did kept going to that whole ship break thing, but we knew it was obvious Glorio to stall for time. That involved in 15 episodes of mid and stuff like that. Well, like episode 15 and stuff. Yeah. Let's see. Let's see. Imagine Yujiro Hanama with the third eye. Frieza would weep. Let me see. Do I know that character? Let me see. So this is from Baki. Yeah, I haven't seen all of Baki, but wow, okay. You know what? Honestly, we see what that third eye can do. Yeah, that third eye is crazy what it can do to weakling characters, man. So yeah, imagine if Emperor Pilaf got the third eye, like, wow. Let me see what we got here. See, you watch TC says you watch DBZ and I only asked to see how much of a fan you truly are. No, I do not watch DBZ hentai. Oh man, I go and watch all the Dragon Ball stuff, basically like on Kaizenshu and everything, to read up on like what Toriyama said in interviews, and also like Team 4-Star, Kaiser Neko, Geekdom 101. Totally not Mark, a lot of the Dragon Ball content creators, but no, that's not my type of Dragon Ball. But by all means, anyone that enjoys that type of Dragon Ball, hey, I'm not gonna tell you how to enjoy Dragon Ball. You do you out there. And overall, Blitz Drake says great stream. Hey, thank you so much. But yeah, that pretty much wraps things up. TC, he's a phony. Get him, guys. Hey, no hate here. Like I said, you all enjoy Dragon Ball the way you want to and stuff. But hey, thank you for coming by to chat, TC, Blitz, and everybody else. It has been a blast doing these Dragon Ball DAIMA streams, and more Dragon Ball streams definitely to come. That being said, you can watch more of my Dragon Ball content right there on the screen, as well as make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as followed by hitting the notification bell so that you are notified when more Dragon Ball content is released. Until next time, guys, take care.